There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to GoGameGo. We are back. It's a Wednesday night. It's 7 o'clock. We're here.
We've got Barry and Jeff with us from Premium Edition Games. They're back for a second round. How about that?
Thank you.
You guys came back.
Round two.
Yeah, we had a good enough time.
We
So
are
you've been
back.
Good enough time. Do we have
Barry's
just
mean today. I like it.
He's on. He's on fire.
I'm on fire.
So
Now I want to play that.
I know, so you guys
Oh,
have
I
been
have
really
to take-
busy since the last time we saw you.
Yeah, it's been a busy time. A lot of stuff has gone on.
He's been
You know, I've
insane.
eaten pizza since you've last been here.
Nice. Pizza's
Well,
good.
probably more than once. So
Well,
Last time
did
you
you
were
have New
here-
York style or Chicago? That's the question.
I just
I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Jeff has it.
These were your, I believe, only 2 games when you were here last time, right?
Yes.
I think you got some
Sure.
more out now.
That
Now do
was
you have
good.
the patches?
Yeah.
What's that?
He's-
You have your patches.
Oh yeah, got both of them here.
All right, good.
Just like an old 70s hit song,
I
Patches.
got patches on.
Yeah, well, Jeff always wears his patches.
Well, plus
Did you?
wifey.
Jeff cheats because he's got patches that no one can earn yet because the games haven't come out yet.
You also haven't earned them yourself, Barry, because you know what the challenges are.
Well, and if I remember correctly, Jeff and I share that same happy feeling when we get to create something that we get to wear. You're like, I want to design this because I want to wear that.
And we got conventions coming up, and a lot of them actually. And I will be, repping the vest. I'm wearing a Neo Geo shirt today. But,
Look at that.
but yeah, like I'll always be wearing the vest out at conventions now.
What conventions you guys going to coming up?
So in July we have Southeast Game Exchange in South Carolina. It's a pretty big one. And then after that will be Classic Game Fest in Austin, Texas. And then shortly after that, in early August, will be Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta, Georgia. Those will be the next 3.
Wow.
Yeah, very
Some
cool.
craziness.
I don't
Okay,
remember
we're
if I
gonna-
asked you last time, but are your games limited at all? Or do you just keep making them as long as people keep buying them?
They are limited in the sense of there's minimum print runs. So Series 1, which you have there, 5,000 is the minimum print run. So those got prints of 5,000. And whether or not we make more in the future all depends on demands. But right now the plan is not to make more after the initial run.
So you literally have to order 5,000 more if you wanted to do it.
No, you can increment up to 1,000 increments after
Yeah.
this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with U.S. Switch Publishing, U.S. mind you, it's 5,000 for the first print run, and so like it depends really on the title. Like, I mean, our next 2 games that we have live for pre-order now, those 2 are going crazy. Versus a smaller title of indie games might take a little longer to sell. But as more people find out that we exist and more people like Jeff see the quality that we're pushing out, word of mouth has been getting insane, and we don't have a ton left. A few hundred, I think, maybe, which is insane considering there's 5,000 copies.
Yeah, our Series 1 titles have been selling steadily and now really, really close. There's the patch. Really, really close to being sold
I can
out.
show this patch. This is one that people have seen online, but
wow.
You actually shared that last time we were here, but just a picture.
yeah, I just shared the picture. And then the Demon's Tier I actually have sewn on my vest, which is waifu over here. It's a shopkeeper in Demon's Tier Plus. So she's there. Super shoppers. This one is the mouth meat.
Yeah. One of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to give everybody a chance with Series 2 and onwards, and what we're doing is an open pre-order. Because a lot of people ask that. Is this limited? How many copies? What are we? Because a lot of people want to know. And we tell them all 5,000 is the minimum. But if demand is higher than that, if there's more than 5,000 people that want that, we don't want people to be left out. So we are doing open pre-order windows right now. So right now as we speak until July 15th, Demon Seer Plus and Robot Named Fight are available for pre-order. And one of the things we're doing with our pre-orders that are exclusive are those beautiful slipcovers from Paul Niemeyer. So if you like those slipcovers and you're getting the premium edition version, if you do it during the pre-order window, you will actually get that slipcover, no additional cost. If you don't pre-order, they will go whatever extra we have. So let's say we have 6,100, we need to order 7,000. So we'll have 900 extra. Those 900 extra will go on the site when we get them in hand, but they will not contain the slipcover. It's our way of saying thank you for, pre-ordering with us and for, putting your faith in us, and we want to reward you. However, if you do purchase our retro or our deluxe editions, those will come with the slipcover, even if you order them after the fact, like when we get them in hand.
Yeah, if you have to pay extra, you might as well get the cool stuff.
I noticed you mentioned the retro edition.
Yes.
Don't you have a retro upgrade to your first two games? Is that correct?
One game, only one game.
Just one game? Super Blood Hockey.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that is awesome.
I got it over here too.
Yep. So the Super Blood Hockey retro. You had to get up. See, I was ready. I had it ready. So this is 1995. You got the box, and then you also get the comic, which is an exclusive prequel comic that's official, done by Sean Daly, who did the music of the game, and with the assistance of Loren, the actual developer of the game. And you also get the soundtrack, which Sean also did the soundtrack. So you have his CD with unreleased songs on it, and Sean also did the cover art for the soundtrack as well. So it's really cool. So you're getting new exclusive art. The box is done by Erica, our designer. So that's a new design. The comic is all exclusive, and the CD soundtrack is exclusive.
The comic is black and white with red blood inside of it. And
is it real Kiss blood?
It's real Kiss blood. And then on the back, actually, Erica also did a steelbook. She designed a classic Sega Genesis style, NHL 94 style ad for the back of it too.
Oh, that's awesome.
We used in, I think it was Switch Player magazine.
Magazine.
But yeah, so pretty awesome, different types. And this is all super glossy and
you can see the shine in the video.
Same size as as a Super Nintendo manual.
And so that is exclusive.
And all of our boxes are the size of a Super Nintendo or N64 box, which also means mine inside of a Super Nintendo game protector.
Yes.
They fit perfectly in game protectors, which was the idea. And then the Series 2, they're both going to be horizontal releases, and they'll still fit everything. So
now this, I do want to mention this retro upgrade is limited to 1,000. We only made 1,000 of them, and we have under 50% of them left.
400 something. Yeah.
The reason we did that is because we didn't want to make people have to rebuy the game, and we wanted to gauge interest. So we said, let's do 1,000, really see how it goes. We don't plan to make more. Again, if the demand is huge, we could look down that avenue. But we just wanted to do something cool because we started doing retro with all our releases. And since retros are all on releases, it would be a shame if our first didn't have that. So you couldn't have them like all lined up uniform. So we went back and did that.
Yeah, and then this one is designed to be like a classic Konami box art from NES era. And then our one for the Pigeon Dev Games collection was more like the NES Black Box series, because that was our first retro box that we did, even though it's number 2. That was the first one we did, so it was like the original, the OG.
The OG.
Yeah, and then the one that Barry's pulling out is out of the deluxe box, which actually deluxe box was designed like a Capcom style. So yeah,
so
there's the black box.
That's the retro, the black box.
Sweet.
And this is the deluxe Neo Geo case.
Oh,
which is like Capcom.
Wow.
On a Neo Geo.
On Neo Geo. So when you get the deluxe, you actually get this. The retro goes inside, and inside the retro is that steelbook that we showed off last time, in addition to the premium. So it's like a puzzle.
Wow.
And this will be shipping soon. We're just waiting for these to arrive, and this comes inside this beautiful hard.
And that one has a Konami style.
Oh wow!
So, and if you notice when it goes in, because Jeff talked about it, but we didn't really show it. There's a space, and that space is for the guide. Which this is the final guide. Last time we were here, Jeff showed the prototype. This is the one
silver gilding.
Look at that silver gilding all
I
over.
love that. I
all
love
over. And again, this is hardcover. And what's cool about this, because you get everything, all the strategies for all 4 games. But in the beginning, this is one of our favorite things, is we actually have the history of Pigeon Dev games.
That's
so you get
developer Anna too.
Yeah, and you get an interview, and then at the very end, which I think
we have
is
like
the creme de
every
la creme.
level and every screen too
Everything.
for all the games.
At the back here, you actually get the history of the physical, and how this whole physical thing came to be. So you're getting the whole story plus the whole guide for all 4 games. You can see that shine, and these are shipping hopefully within the next few weeks. Once it arrives, it's all going to be put together. And there's a few of these left still. So you can still order these. The retro editions, we still have a few left, and those are shipping now. People are getting them. So they are going out. You place an order for just the retro, you will get that. And when it all goes in, that's what it looks like. Nice and
wow.
That's
Just incredible.
So
it's pretty cool. You're doing the retro for Super Blood Hockey. I don't know if I've seen that done before, where you basically kind of take the parts that people didn't get with the more expensive purchase, and say, hey, if you want to, after the fact, you can still buy it. That's pretty cool.
Well, we thought, what could we do that would be really awesome? And we wanted to include, we wanted to make sure that there was enough value, and our premium editions are $39.95, or retro are $59.95, with a difference of $20. Pitch and Dev, you're getting that steelbook, which is amazing. What could we do? We didn't want to do another steelbook, so we're like, we had to figure out something. Soundtrack was easy. We'll do the soundtrack, but what else? And when we thought about Sean and being a comic book artist, we said, hey, this would be great. How about we do this comic? And it came out so well that now we're even debating going down that route again and doing more comics, because it really came out well.
I was just going to see if maybe I could share some of this on the screen. Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
I think I can.
I got some crazy treats over on my wall too.
Yeah.
So,
that's the deluxe.
There's the whole deluxe.
What I didn't show you is the soundtrack CD, which comes there, which I don't have in the pin, which I showed you last time, which I do actually have the pin. But you get all that. So that piece hasn't come to us yet, but it was also going to the warehouse. The pins are in hand.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, that's all in hand.
And the steelbook itself, I don't know if you had that show off, Barry, but that's all 3D.
Yeah, well, we always showed that last time. Yeah, I don't have that on hand. Well, actually, I technically do have it on hand in this.
It's right there. He doesn't have it on hand. It's like literally.
You know why? Because I have the other one I show off doesn't have the thingy on it. That's what I'm thinking of. So yeah.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, it's got the embossed. That's beautiful.
Wow.
Yep.
It's raised too, like
they're
it's
embossed.
raised. Yeah, embossed. Mm-hmm.
And in the back,
yeah,
the CRT
Barry doesn't know the terminology.
And inside,
the one that we're doing for Robot Named Fight's gonna also have some glow in the dark too.
Glow in the dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
So another thing from the creationist side, see this right here over my hand.
Yeah, that's cool.
In the screen.
So
that right there is actually going to be used the art for the retro box for Robot Named Fight, and so like that's literally a canvas painting right there, done by the artist, like on wood. And so then I'm going to take that and add copy to it, like we did back in the day on the Super Nintendo or the NES, where you literally scan it in and then you add all the extra stuff to it for the box. The one above it's actually Demon's Tier Plus, which we hadn't announced by the time, but that's always been up there. That one's going to be on the inside of the retail Switch case. So like on the inside of the case, that's where that one's going to go. Because the art right there, you couldn't really put the logo anywhere nicely. So I decided to use it as a full spread for it. So yeah, that'll be super cool. So one thing is too is you guys didn't ask, but I have the the patch here. Well, it's not sewn. Right, I don't have it sewn on my vest yet. The reason being is I actually have a my own mentality that I use with these patches, and I won't sew it till I actually earn the patch myself. And I just earned it yesterday.
Wow.
Yep. It is not an easy patch to earn for Robot Named Fight.
No.
You can still randomly, gambler's chance, stumble upon it and unlock the patch, but I had not. There's 4 billion different combinations in that game.
Wow.
Well, to talk about those games, I see Robot Named Fight is now on the screen. Robot Named Fight is a 2D
Yeah, it should be able to blow
Metroidvania.
up as soon as you click it.
Yeah, when you click the
There we
picture,
go.
there it is.
Yeah, it just took a second.
It's a 2D Metroidvania roguelike. So it's like Super
Check out
Metroid.
that slipcase, though. Look at how rad
God.
that looks.
That is
I haven't
all.
seen that one in person yet because we haven't gotten any of the demo stuff printed yet, but it's all in the approval stages or approved by Nintendo. So
This
most of it's
steel
already
book
approved.
looks Steelbook looks killer.
All the green is going to be glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then the art that's on the CD case, as well as the part of the steelbook, is actually part of this, which is Exceed Fighting System. It's a card game that they created that art for Robot Named Fight, and I already talked to Level 99. And they're allowing us to use the art too. We just got to give them a shout out. So, like, basically, I'll give them credit, but like it'll be awesome. And then look at Paul's art in the middle, the slipcase. Look at that.
Good.
Like that, we revealed that almost the same day as Nintendo revealed Metroid 5. I think our cover looks cooler than Metroid 5 Dread. Don't care about the details, Barry. I think ours looks cooler. Barry's like, well, actually, I'm gonna give him some glasses. And go, actually, so one day earlier. Like, no, we don't care. Our cover,
days earlier.
Paul's actually, Barry. I'm gonna give you freaking nerd glasses. But our artwork like screams like killer because the guy, Paul is like that's 100% his wheelhouse is that style, and you can tell like it just screams like awesomeness. Now I know you guys showed off the one for Demon's Tier, but Paul's one for Demon's Tier is interesting because we didn't know this until he posted it. We'll talk about when it's out, Oak City, in a minute. But on Paul's slipcase there's like 3 girls on there. Well, those are actually off of models that he knows, like cosplay models. And
Sweet.
They all had big cleavage pictures that we had to cover up. But I'm like, well, maybe I could get Nintendo to approve it now because it's real people. I don't know. I'm going to see. They're real people, and all the girls were geeking out, and we didn't even know that. Paul just like tags them, and I'm like, Paul, you got to let us know that stuff.
Wow.
Market that.
Yeah.
So for that stuff, for what Oak City Gamers was asking about, when is everything out? So our pre-order window is going from the 15th of June to the 15th of July. At that point, we'll know how many copies we need to order, and we place the order with Nintendo. It's already approved. All the artwork is already approved, so literally we just do it. There's not a crowdfunding; it's actually just up for pre-order on the site that they're on right now, which is premiumeditiongames.com. We just have it up for pre-order on our website. We're not doing a Kickstarter or anything like that. It's not a crowdfunding.
Yeah. So, anyway, as I was saying, with the games, you're showing Demons here now. It's a gauntlet roguelike RPG.
Gauntlet style.
Oh, it's so much fun, and it's so addicting because with roguelikes is, constantly going back, and each character has their own stats, which you saw in the retro edition. We have like the character cards. As you play, you actually can level up particular stats, so you can kind of even things out. If your character doesn't have a lot of health at the start, you can give them more health, or if they're a little weak, you can base up their strength. Really, really a lot of fun.
Yeah. I did see a question earlier about are our games created in Unity? So the answer is, number one, all 4 of our game releases so far are all by different developers, different creators. They all use different programming languages. I do know a couple have used Unity, and that's easiest to port into the Nintendo Switch. It also works well with Steam. But a couple of them, they're not using Unity either, and then they have to get them ported over. And so some of the digital publishers that they actually help them with the porting as well. Notice the Wizards' massive cleavage on there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think I found where the cleavage went.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, and that's
But-
the thing is, like, I guess with the Vita or PS4 version that a different company did, they had to like cover up the cleavage on there by the ESRB or something. So we were being safe. But we do have like versions that show it exactly how the characters are drawn in the game. So
Wild.
And just so people know, you guys are publishers only, correct?
We're the
yeah,
publisher.
we are the publishers. Yeah, so I do all the creative. Barry does all the insane connections, and JP just does hype.
hype, yeah, lots of hype and tweeting.
And then isn't there a fifth game that's been announced?
There is.
But it's not for pre-order, correct?
No. So if you go to the main page, you'll see it in our pre-order section.
So Demon Sphere Plus and
Robot Name Fight.
the coming
Robot
soon
Name Fight.
right there.
That is Series 2.
So our other game is called that'll be in Series 3. We're not doing Series 3 till likely the fall. We have to ship out Series 2 first. But Cathedral's a Metroidvania style. Takes a lot of inspiration from games like Shovel Knight as well.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh yeah, but this game is like ridiculously awesome. Like every game that we have, like none of us can put down. Like that's our main thing is like we have to be obsessed. And like I mean, I've honestly been completely engrossed in Robot Name Fight right now. I can't stop playing it. I have now beaten the Mega Beast, I think 5 times, which is the end boss 5 times.
Wow.
And there's achievements for each time you beat them too, and you get more stuff unlocked. Sunshine Manor. So Kevin mentioned Sunshine Manor and Camp Sunshine, because we're doing a 2-pack. And that's another game that's up, and that's up for crowdfunding. Actually, we mentioned from Oak City. That one, the developers are still raising funds for their version, and it closes on July 15th, just like our pre-orders.
That's
also,
for
like, over here. I have a little bear perler that's hiding on a real paint.
Just so anyone's confused, the backer kit that's closing on July 15th is for the Kickstarter exclusive version of Sunshine Anthology. We will also be putting out our own version of it on our site at a later time.
We'll do a standard release with it.
With standard
like
release, with a different
open
cover.
pre-order.
But just so like the variant collectors.
Yeah, see, like you don't see it there. So, but if you go to the main page, we have a link to their backer kit up there. It says support Nintendo Switch development, and we'll be doing it. So we scroll down a little bit, like in the middle of the page, there'll be like a Sunshine thing under the Hagen's Alley books, because I have my books all posted there now too.
Yeah, there
we go. Sunshine Manor.
So this version here, you will not be selling. You're selling the standard edition.
We're going to be selling a different version, yes.
Different cover and all that.
Mm-hmm. And so that's honestly, ironically, that's not the cover they're using. That will probably be our cover, minus our old logo. But their cover was done by horror artist Graham Humphreys, who did Evil Dead and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Wow.
And I have the art, but it's like it looks amazing. It is a painting. Like literally have him with like paint on his hands, like showing it off. I'm surprised that they haven't changed that yet. That's weird.
Yeah, it's the old stuff.
That's on them. Like it's like because our version now we are going to be able to use that art. It just won't be on the retail case. It'll be on our slipcase opposite of Paul, because Graham Humphreys drew Sunshine Manor. Well, Paul is going to do Camp Sunshine, aka Jason Voorhees style bear killer with a knife.
Wow.
So he's doing like a Crystal Lake piece for us. Like,
what happens if I do this?
It'll give you a horror voice and it'll be like, "Oh, this summer, it's time to kill."
Well, see, that's one of the things.
And it wasn't even me who did the voiceover. That's the best part. Papa Pete
is the Kickstarters for Sunshine Manor only, and obviously our edition is for Anthology. So we took the Kickstarter and we said, if we're going to do a physical, we want both games. And so we're getting both games on card. And there's actually going to be, we talked about the patches and challenges. There's going to be 2 different challenges for Sunshine Anthology. So the challenge.
So their Kickstarter one will be Manor, and then our release version will be focused on Camp Sunshine. Ironically, as we put our name to it, and it was simply because we all fell in love with Camp Sunshine, and they're like, "Well, we're doing a sequel. Well, can we put both games on? Okay, we got it. We're good." Now we've been planning on like releasing it. They were supposed to be done, and we'll see because I know how game devs go. But it's supposed to be done like in the fall, like for like a Halloween launch type deal. But I mean, they're making a video game. It might take longer, and that's why we haven't put up our version. We're not putting up our version or anything. It's not even part of a series yet. It might go in Series 3, it might go in Series 7. Whenever they finish it, it'll go.
Wow. I love these wristbands.
That's so classic. Yeah, I mean, and now here's the thing. Have I created wristbands or a cassette tape before? Nope. And I will figure it out, and it'll be awesome because there's companies that do it. I just want to make sure it's done like high quality, though. Because I'm not just going to go to the first place. I'm going to make sure that they're like something that I'll wear to conventions, even though they're pink and baby blue.
There's a cute visual.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh,
that's how we'll find you in conventions, Jeff. Just look for the pink wristbands.
Just look for the dead body laying on the ground.
Yeah. And when you're gone, they'll put a chalk outline.
Exactly.
And then you write in the middle of it, right back in 10 minutes.
Well, the thing was, I used to have a Marty McFly vest that I would wear to the conventions. Now I'm wearing the black premium edition, but I had the Marty McFly one. So they would see me across the convention hall and they'd be like, there he is.
I'll ask you for a Pepsi free.
No,
I do need some sweatbands.
You have to pay for it. You don't give Pepsis free to anyone.
Just give me a tab. Can't give you a tab unless you order something.
And that's the thing. So I saw somebody wanting to do a headband. Well, you could take your challenge patch and sew it on the headband.
Yeah.
So do you guys still have patches left for your first 2 games?
Yep.
Yeah,
we still have patches left for both. We actually purposely held aside some for Pigeon Dev because the deluxes aren't shipped out yet. All the retros are shipping though, so everybody who bought retro editions should be getting them soon if they don't already have them all. The upgrade for Super Blood Hockey and the retro edition of Pigeon Dev. And so we held aside a bunch just for those to allow them to do the challenges as well.
Yeah. So we do have some left. We will be having less Series 2 patches.
That's what I was going to ask you, if you're doing the same number of patches, or so you'll be doing less this time.
We're doing less this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ordered a crap ton for the first series just because we don't know how many people are going to do it, and I figured it'd be cool to have some extras of the original as more people are introduced to the games as time goes on. But then as we go forward, I'll be like, all right, I only got a finite amount now, and I still mail them all out individually. Like every week or two, I'll send out a bunch of patches, put them in an envelope.
Yeah, you have the envelope right there.
Even the envelopes are now going to be collected, Barry, inside the Switch case.
Yeah, that's right.
The envelope, please.
I'm literally using stamps on them and stuff on some of them, and other ones
Yep, this is a stamp edition one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be worth money in the future.
And then the stamping on the premium edition address and everything. It's crazy. Automatic shoelaces. That's all they want.
No, one other thing too we do, we talked about briefly last time is the unboxing patches. So if you get any of our Series 1 titles and you do an unboxing, that includes the premium editions, the retro editions, the retro upgrade for Super Blood Hockey, or the deluxe. You post the video on social media, tag us, send us an email. Here's the link to it. Here's my address and order number and everything. We will send you, or Jeff will send you, a premium edition logo patch as our way of saying thank you. Series 2 is actually going to have a different patch for Series 2 stuff. So you see Jeff there working. There's the patch. Yep. That's the unboxing patch. So we're doing one per. So if you got like three different editions, open them all up. Like we have less of those, so we want to make sure that everybody gets their chance at it. It's just our way of saying thank you for doing an unboxing, and helping us get out there. But Series 2 will have a different patch, so we're gonna look to doing that in the future and try and keep it up. Like you have all the unboxing sets, so it's like a subset.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that idea.
I still got to find something that inspires me for Series 2 patches.
I have an idea for Series 2 patches.
We'll see. Has to inspire. Has to be something that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll see.
We'll see. Famous last words. That means I'm doing it. I don't care what you have to say.
It was like something like this we couldn't do. I got this off of from a store or whatever, but it's just a Nintendo Switch logo. But like we can't do the Nintendo Switch logo unless Nintendo says it's cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which I don't think they will.
They don't want free advertisements.
Yeah, that's ironic.
So you have 2 games out, 2 games for pre-order, and two other games that have been mentioned, correct?
Announced.
Well, technically the Sunshine Anthology is up for pre-order as well, the Kickstarter version.
That's the
okay. Yeah.
So we have 3 games kind of up for pre-orders. But the pre-orders are all closing on the 15th, and like I said, if you just want the premium edition of Robot Name Fight or Demon's Tier Plus, make sure to pre-order for that slipcase. As for the retro and the deluxes, we have very few of them left. We actually limited it to 500 on our site, and the other 500 are going to like distributors and our partners. So because of that, there's a lot less of those than there were for even Pigeon Dev. Even though Pigeon Dev had like 1,000, we had like 900 of them on our site. But now we have even less because we have more distribution partners now. And we're like, oh, we want to take some before it even gets out there. So let's set aside some. And
I will tell you, after the pre-order window, it'll be open season for the distribution partners because some of them wanted to buy us out, and we're like, no, we have to have some for the customers. Like, but after the pre-order window, I mean, if there's any left, which there may not be, honestly, like they're going, like they're almost going. Which is we didn't know if they would sell it immediately, but we're pretty new. I doubt they will be because people got to find us.
We did have multiple distribution partners actually ask for our entire stock. They're like, we want everything you have, and we're like, we can't do that. We can give you a lot, but we have to be fair. We have to send some to even smaller distribution. But the demand's there.
Does Barry's company have a YouTube channel? I think
well, it's not. It's not my company. It's all of our companies. But we do have a YouTube channel. I think it's youtube.com/premium edition or premium edition games. I don't actually do anything on it. I think it's just premium edition games. I'm checking now.
Barry, I'll let you know. Magazine collection behind you.
The magazine collection behind me.
That's a curtain, but
there's a curtain. There's a curtain. It's a storage behind there.
It's bacon and eggs behind.
See, I was looking at for the actual thing. Yeah, it's just premium edition games. Yeah. So we don't use that often.
Go. Kiss.
We do.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
All the bacon and eggs.
Thanks. I think I told the story about how I got that years ago, but go ahead though. This is more important.
What I was gonna say is, like, on our YouTube, we don't use it a lot because a lot of the stuff we do right on premiumeditiongames.com. So one of the things we do is like the Switch Mania Playcast, which is on all podcast channels, and you can listen to it right on premiumeditiongames.com, which is where we all sit down and not only do we talk premium edition news. So if you follow that every week, you'll get a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you don't get everywhere because we like to be transparent. So you'll get the day ends, hey, this was approved, or oh, this is coming in, or we heard from so and so. We want to give all that information out. But we also do like a book club where we'll play a game of the episode and we'll talk about it. And some of the games are actually potential future physicals, so we want your take on it. So if you say, oh, that game's great, you should do a physical, we want your opinion. So come into like our Discord or send us a message. But some stuff we do have on our YouTube are like little fun videos. Frank, who does a lot of our social media, he does fun little videos. And then like I did an interview with Matt, the developer of A Robot Named Fight, that you can see up there, our direct, of course. And we just like to throw some cool stuff up there. But most of our stuff you can get at Premium Edition Games.
Matt went deep.
You know what? When I saw Demon's Tier pop up, I saw Demons, and my first thought was Demon's Tilt because I know I brought that up with you guys last time. I was like, I want Demon's still on the cartridge.
Yeah, I would not mind Demon's Tilt. That's for sure.
So just real quick, I may have missed something. I just want to make sure what we're looking at so that if, because I think, some people are into what they can immediately get. So when we're thinking about this Super Blood Hockey, so you have I'm just going to do this. I'll do this share thing again so we can take a look at it here on the screen. I just want to make sure, because that's the one that really interests me right now. All right. So we have the regular one here. What you have is the premium edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is what's available here. And then, so we take a look and you're going to get, you have your slip cover, and then you have the case and your manual and your challenge card.
Correct.
Then when I back out of here, then now, like Jeff was mentioning, you got the retro edition upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so with that, so you get the box and everything to put what you've got in, right?
Flat packed. Yep, it arrives flat packed because this was an upgrade that was released after we already did a full pre-order for Super Blood Hockey, so we didn't want to be like, oh, well, you have to buy our game again to get that.
Gotcha.
Instead, we did a $20 upgrade. Boom, you get a soundtrack plus any Super Nintendo sized NES style box, as well as that awesome comic book.
Gotcha. Good. Yeah, I was getting confused. So for $60, if you buy it straight away, you can get all of this
our
stuff.
retro edition, which is the same price as the retro edition for Pigeon Dev.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So it's all in hand, and when you open up the box, there's room to put your the premium edition in there, so you can have it all encased in the retro box.
This artwork on here really speaks to me. I like it a lot.
It's awesome.
So what's cool too is Sean Daly, who did the art, also did one of the covers for The Last Ronin, the new Ninja Turtle series.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Jeff actually has it.
I have it sitting right here. So this is Sean's cover that he did for Last Ronin.
Wow.
With Michelangelo or Donatello. I think it's Donatello on this one, but
wow.
Yeah. Freaking really cool.
So, and that's another thing we tried. I mean, we talked about it last time, is how we always try to use different art. Every piece of our puzzle has different artwork on it. Mm-hmm. And the same holds true with the retro upgrade, where you're getting, all brand new art for everything. Nothing, duplicated. We wanted it to be unique.
Yeah.
So
I like the soundtrack art.
For Pigeon Dev Games collection, you guys are doing you had the strategy book for what was it called? The
Deluxe.
Mm-hmm. Are one of the two games in Series 2 getting something like that?
Yes, Robot Name Fight is getting the Deluxe. It's up on the site. You can see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
now imagine having to create a strategy guide for a game with over 4 billion combinations.
Well, I hope they're all in there.
Working on it. Now, no, actually, I've been playing and obsessed with to the point now where once I see how 8-Bit Steve, our strategy guy, our speedrunner's doing it, I'm going to be able to structure it, because like there's certain things, like for example, in Super Metroid, you get a dash, right? Well, they have a dash. They have a Sonic the Hedgehog style spin dash that actually gives you a spiky helmet, which is hilarious. There is a slide. There are multiple little things that will accomplish the same task in the game. So I'm going to kind of group things together. There's a high jump. There's a double jump. There's an infinite jump. There is a VVV anti-gravity. Like there's multiple, and then there's a jetpack. So there's multiple ways that you can get, height. So like we'll be doing stuff like that within the strategy guide, and I think that'll be a way that we can knock that out.
So also the only one that doesn't do for which there isn't a steel box available does Super Blood Hockey have a steel box available?
No.
Steel books are extremely expensive, like insane. So we're only doing one per series. That's the only reason. It's because of the cost. Did I read up that Papa Pete, you said you can't do the upgrade in Canada?
You should be able to.
Because you can do it worldwide. It's just it costs an arm and a leg to get it out to y'all.
Huh.
Yes, unfortunately, that's USPS.
Yeah, but Papa P lives so close to the border that I think he has a place that he can just like drive. Pretty sure.
I think he's just separated from us from a river. You can just kind of maybe send a little boat to push it on.
But yeah, like it does cost us an arm and a leg. You can just swim across.
Why isn't he just doing that? I mean, they could just have like a little his own little like remote control barge that he could just
Papa Pete drone with his face on it. Little drone.
Yeah, just be
That'd be great.
Papa Pete drone.
Make it happen.
Little smile. Atari cartridge necklace or something.
Why did you let that drone in here? Did you see how friendly it was?
It was just friendly. This is a nice.
Did you see that smile? I think his name's Pete.
It's a friendly drone.
It's singing the song. It says Papa Pete, Papa Pete.
Oh, that's great.
It said something about an old ass gamer. I don't know what that's all about. But
It's cursing at me. I don't get it.
But yeah, about the steelbooks, if it was, I would have loved to have done a Super Blood Hockey and a Demon's Tier Plus steelbook, but as Jeff said, they're just so expensive, and that's why we're putting those in the retro editions for both of those games, and the soundtracks we're still doing for all of them. So if it doesn't come with the steelbook, you're getting the soundtrack, and you're getting something else in addition to the soundtrack. So it's not just the soundtrack. You're getting the character cards with Demon's Tier Plus, and you get the comic book with Super Blood Hockey. So we're always trying to do something cool. Speaking of doing something cool, we have to put it up yet, but with Robot Named Fight, the Deluxe, we're going to be doing a poll for our Discord users. So if you join our Discord, on a bonus item. So we're going to give a couple list of some possible bonus items, and we'll see what people vote for, and we'll do our best to make that happen for everybody.
Well, I think I'm putting Super Blood Hockey and the upgrade in my carts right now.
That's fantastic.
So.
Ooh. And then it looks like Papa Pete said all my books have gone there. Yeah, to his other address. Because I remember Papa Pete was talking about how he had to go across the border to pick up books. Speaking of books, I'm almost done with Switch Collector Volume 2. I actually did the index yesterday. I finished it up and designed it because I do a whole holistic games index in the back of the book.
Yeah.
So the way that that's rolling is I'm never going to finish that series because I'm literally finishing Volume 2, which is the first half of year 2.
Yeah.
So like, what are we in year 5 now? Like I'm and year 3 is gonna have 3 volumes. I'm screwed. Like it's gonna take me forever. And I'm fine. I'm prioritizing games, so to get out games. So it's like, well,
and I think you still might get Divines quicker than the Switch Pro, Jeff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And then where do I find the GoGameGo discount click here anywhere else? No, there isn't one.
There is none, unfortunately.
Dang it.
You gotta email support for Barry.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well,
Just so I can let you know that there is none. Now save me the email.
Here's the email.
I
Jeff and
apologize.
Barry said.
Barry's like,
we know
I
Jeff
did.
They'll go. We know Jeff and Barry. They didn't say shit.
And then it says signed Barry.
I'll say for the discount, please email Jeff's personal account. Here it is, and hound him.
Oh man.
So one little known thing is Papa Pete's tune is done by Retro. What is it? Rebel Gaming Club. Gaming Club. And they did one for my old podcast that we no longer record, Video Game Bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. It was like video game bullshit. He's like going and punching shit. Let's talk about video games. It was like hilarious. And I mean, we had like tons of people that would do the little shout outs. Like we had Howard and we had a ton of different like classic gamers.
I might have to get into doing podcast jingles. I might have to do that too.
We had Dan on the show back in February. Yeah, he's a great guy.
There was something I was posting because I have a Switch arcade that I did with Volume 1, and I posted like Rebel Gaming Club on YouTube on my Switch on the app on the console, and I was like, "Hey, look, Dan, it's you!" and doing a pickup, and it was like a year ago now, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that was a year ago." Where's the time?
Oh man,
insane. Yeah, Dan is awesome though.
Yeah, Rebel Gaming Club's also a big fan of Papa Pete. Dan's always wearing a shirt.
Another crazy one is Too Many Games. I did panels there for many years when I lived on the East Coast, and a weird one was on my panel. I had RGT85, Sean Long on there, Scott Squatch, a couple other YouTubers, and then we were throwing Super Nintendo cartridges at a YouTuber, and Papa Pete was filming it. And he was filming it, and we're like, "What the heck? Who would allow it?" And it was his son that we were throwing the cartridges. A 64 gamer, and it was like hilarious. We're like, "That's how I met Papa Pete." We're throwing cartridges, like Sean Long and them. They were like hitching the cartridges fast and like hitting him.
Oh my god!
He was dressed like Spider-Man, I think. Like that was one of our panels at Too Many Games. Like, what the heck is wrong with us?
What you can expect from a panel in the future.
That was 64-bit for life, aka somebody he might know.
Yeah, that's something we're eager to start getting out there and going to a lot of these shows now that they're going to start opening up again. And
yeah, we will be at Too Many Games this year for sure.
When are they doing that this year? It's later in the year, isn't it?
October, I want to say. October, maybe
Is it
November.
usually in June?
Usually it's in June.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting a booth for it. I'm not confirmed for a panel yet, but if they have an opening, like we'll be on it. We might just do a big collab panel with some YouTubers and stuff. Oh, it was Batman, not Spider-Man. That's what. Yeah. We're going 2021 Too Many Games. Yeah, we'll be out there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. There you go.
Sorry.
There we are. Yeah, but yeah, that stuff's crazy. But we'll also be at Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Whether Barry and JP come out, that's up to them. Barry doesn't like to travel, so he might get Too Many Games. But I'll be at a few. And like if Portland was open, I'd try to get to Portland, but I'm only going to a handful every year, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these places I've either not been to in a long time or not been to in years. So, or I mean, not been to in years or never been. Like
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's the same. Hey, thanks for the same answer. So sometimes I eat in the morning, and other times I just eat in the morning. So, but no. So it would be neat to go to Portland, Oregon for something because I've always wanted to go out there.
Portland is awesome. It's the one where you have to go to once in your lifetime to enjoy the retro gaming community.
Yeah,
like the parties afterward are insane. And
I bet.
And like so, the ones that have the really crazy after party scene are Portland. Too Many Games is ridiculous, by the way. Like their after party, they usually have one that's ran by the Cinemassacre guys. Actually, to hire their like big group. And then Screen Wave Media, and then Game On. Actually, Game On. There's a arcade bar that's within a walk, and we all drunkenly stumble around there. And typically, the Mortal Kombat dudes are there. That's how I met Paul, and we got trashed together, and that's how I met Paul, doing all of our slipcases. So most of the stuff that we have, and the people that are associated like with art and things, like I've met and usually have a story with them. So like, yeah, Paul and I were just clicked at we were hanging out there with the guy who does the voice for NBA Jam. Monster Jam and his son. But yeah, we were with him and it was like ridiculous.
Wow. I should keep in touch with you guys if you ever need any voice stuff. I'd love to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's my next life.
Your next.
I mean, still within this one, not
still within this one. Eventually we're gonna be making games too. That's just the next step.
Yeah, because I mean, if I'm always about connections. It's about connections for me. Some people are like, "Well, we don't do that necessarily." I'm like, "Well, no, but you know people that do that." So I do whatever I need to. So. Well,
I mean, we're doing some crazy stuff that's going on. I mean, one of my books that I'm writing is a novel based off of an NES game I released called Black Box Challenge, which is an RPG where you collect Nintendo games on the NES. I'm doing a novelization like the old Worlds of Power books from the 80s, but with artwork for like Choose Your Own Adventure, where it's all pencil drawn. The artist worked for Disney. So she actually worked for Disney, and she's doing all the artwork, and she's doing all the art pieces for each chapter. She every like week or so, she'll be like, "Hey, I got a new one for you," and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh!" Now I'm going to be incorporating crazy aspects from that art into the narrative of the story. And then I'm talking with a few developers, and we might do a spiritual successor on the Switch in the future. And she also did sculpting. So imagine if you had an RPG style game that's more action based, but you had more claymation, stop motion animation like you had back in the Harryhausen films.
Yeah.
And you would need voiceovers and things.
Yep.
So that's where it's like we're literally looking at crazy stuff. Like hopefully we would have something like that done before there's a Switch 3. But ideas are always a cool thing because I mean, I've talked with plenty of developers, and Eugene Jarvis is another guy that I know real well. He might have done some stuff.
Yeah, he might have.
Oh man,
might have done a couple things.
Yeah.
I mean, I know him. There's a couple other games like the guy who worked on Super Blood Hockey, Loren Lemke, is working on a Rampage style game.
Oh,
and
cool.
I know the original artist for Rampage.
Wow.
So if we're signing that game, which it looks amazing, if we play it and it's awesome, like absolutely, like we would love to sign something like that. I will make it exactly like Rampage, like when it comes to artistic aspects and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be the spiritual successor and everything but the name.
Well, we'll definitely have to keep in touch with that. And then I was wondering about, I still got to see if I can get you and my friend Dave hooked up together. I don't know if,
Was that the one you showed the artwork from the Namco?
Mhm.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I never
right.
we didn't follow through with that. Yeah.
I think he keeps really busy right now. So I don't, so even to think about anything else is kind of a crazy thing, I think, right now. But,
Well, and it's like with all artists, though, and creators, it's feast or famine.
Right.
So, like with Paul, we were in a famine because of COVID, so we were lucky to get a lot of time from him. Now he goes to conventions more than anybody, Paul Niemeyer. So, he's conventions every weekend. To get him to get our Super Blood Hockey or a Robot Named Fight, it was a while because he was at so many conventions, and it's going to be like that going forward. So I'm going to have to give him plenty of heads up and leeway. Planning, so because he's going to do all of our slipcases.
Yeah.
But we have artists doing all different types of pieces. Yeah, and so, but like for me, it's feast or feast now. Like,
and what I need to do is just show him the other stuff that you got coming out, so he can see what kind of that it's growing, that it's a thing, and that,
Well, we have even more stuff we can't talk about just yet because Cathedral's not alone. Cathedral has other games, and we absolutely
there's
love.
A number on the website on Cathedral, and it's not number 5.
Yeah, so we definitely like to showcase different artists and like I was saying, all different art pieces. So Demons Tier Plus has it, and one of the pieces that you don't see even on our webpage is the inlay art. Because every game has different inlay art too, and that's not showcased. So Demons Tier Plus and Robot Named Fight have their own inlay art that looks amazing that we haven't really showed off, and it'd be nice when that gets revealed and all that. But so even going forward, there could be like, oh, we have a canvas for you, inlay art, or maybe you get the box art or the manual art, or wherever. Like we'll find a spot. That's a cool piece.
Yeah, I'll just have to get back to him with it at all and just say, hey, let's do that. I mean, because that's like even something I've been talking about on my Hammer Away show is that I wanted to do a Keel album cover years ago. I don't know if I mentioned this with you guys before, but I didn't have time to do the cover, but I had time to do the CD face,
Okay.
which now that they've released that on vinyl, now it's the label on the vinyl.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. So like you said, there's a place for it. You
There's
may
a
not be,
place.
you may be too busy to do all the other stuff, but this one canvas may
The
still be-
idea for this was to have him do a wooden art piece for the retro box, and then the way that it was created, I'm like, that's not going to look cool on the retro box unless I make the logo tiny, which doesn't fit the aesthetics of Super Nintendo. So then it ends up being on the inside of the retail case. And now he's going to be in more stuff.
Right.
Actually, just talking about it, yeah, that's the official canvas for the inlay art for Demon Slayer Plus up there. So we always try to do cool things. And there's actually something we didn't mention before about especially our Series 1 titles that we should probably bring up, is that what we try to do whenever we release our games is make it so that not only are they the complete game, which is why Robot Named Fight took so long. We wanted all the patches done. We want you to have the complete game. But we also have some exclusives on our games. Like Super Blood Hockey has patches that are not in the digital version, so there's less bugs in our version. With Pigeon Dev, it's a whole brand new soundtrack for all 4 games.
All new
Like if you get the
Exclusive.
digital version, it has a different music than our physical copy, and the soundtrack CD that comes with the deluxe is the brand new soundtrack that is exclusive to our physical. And we have some other
on the
exclusives in the future.
upgrade. Sean did the music as well as the comic.
Yeah.
He's the musician for the game, and he also added 2 unreleased tracks on that too.
Yeah. So
Oh, very
Not the
nice.
game. Yeah.
Very nice. Jeff, do you have that? The
CD?
edition?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No,
I got
not
it here.
you, Jeff, but does my Jeff have?
Oh,
Have
Oh
what?
yeah, I got it. My name's Jeff. I have it.
I know. I guess I think of Jeff or Jeffrey because it says Jeffrey.
It's right here.
Yeah.
so it has 12
It's a
tracks on it,
full
and then
piece.
2 bonus ones.
Yeah.
And the Super Blood Hockey music is amazing chiptune music.
I don't have it, but I ordered it about 20 minutes ago, so I'm hoping it gets. I'm hoping it gets here before the show ends.
The Papa Pete drone will come in and deliver it.
Well, we're always looking for some exclusive items and exclusive things, and that's something going forward that we are talking with more and more developers. Is hey, what can we get that's exclusive to our cart? Because we want our customers to feel like they are truly getting the complete game. And if it's something minor or if it's something major, we're trying our best to always make sure there's something exclusive, or at the very least, we want to make sure all the patches are done and all the content is there and the game is final. Like a Robot Named Fight, he added 4-player co-op or 4-player deathmatch. He added to the game that if we put that as a Series 1 title, wouldn't have been on the card. But now you're going to get that with every update that's been done. You're getting the full version of the game, and that's what we prefer to do.
Co-op Metroid.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's 2 player.
4-player.
Oh, it's 4-player co-op.
Metroid. Yeah, so 3 of the players actually can control orbs that help assist the player, which is insane. They all share a life bar.
Is he asking about the company?
It's just premiumeditiongames.com. I think that's what he's asking.
So Pete,
That'll be our third time, I think, putting that in there.
Pete, no, I think Pete was asking my address for his drone.
Oh,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
There you go.
The other thing is that for Pete and everybody else is that my books are now up on premiumeditiongames.com. So we actually have the newly funded Punch Out book. That's up there so people can pre-order it while we're working on printing it. I think he's getting me the final edits soon because it's all the backer contributions. And then that should be going to print about the same time as Volume 2 for Switch Collector. And I am reprinting Switch Collector Volume 1 as well at the same time. So we will have more Switch Collector Volume 1 because we need more of that.
I also think I remember I was going to talk to my son about talking to you guys too.
Okay.
Because he does, he's a technical writer.
Nice.
And he has an extreme interest in video games. And he talked to a developer, I think up in Chicago area before about hooking up with them too.
Nice.
So if you ever need any, if there's, because I know you talk about doing so much writing that I was wondering is there anybody else that does any writing stuff like that, or do you?
Yeah, I mean, because we're the only ones doing the strategy guide deal.
Yeah.
And then I do a holistic publishing company for books and have multiple authors. Most of mine are self-driven though authors. So they they already have ideas. They sign with me. They make it happen.
Cool.
And so like for example, we got a Mortal Kombat book.
Really?
And yeah, and Warner Brothers is being a pain in my butt. Yeah, because they don't understand how fair use works in the First Amendment. So we're about to teach them. Honestly, like we already submitted a rebuttal, and Kickstarter's literally waiting for them to make a decision, and we're going to be unhidden soon.
Wow.
I mean, it was like 400% funded or something in the first 8 hours. It's not up anywhere right now. It's hidden.
I could have swore I kickstarted that Punch-Out book, but I was just checking my email, and I don't think I did. I thought after the last show when you were talking about that, I thought I went and did that. But I do have a question for you, Jeff. The Switch Collector Volume 1 says out of print coming soon.
I mentioned I will be reprinting that when I print Volume 2.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so I'm going to put it up once it's in hand. Like I'm not going to do any pre-orders for it. I'm going to literally just ship it once it's available.
I'm a huge Switch fan, so I definitely want to get these books.
Yeah,
and
they look
inside
amazing.
like so. I mean, I have Volume 1 sitting right here. Because obviously this will be the second printing right there of it. I have it sitting right here, and this is inside the slipcase, the limited edition slipcase. But so I designed the cover to look like a Switch case.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so it looks like a Switch case. But the inside too has your check mark boxes, so you can select if you own it, if you played it, if you completed it. Which is ironic because JP's gonna have a lot of blanks because he hasn't played much, like our Switch guy. And then in here as well, though, not only are we doing the physicals, but we're covering stuff like this, which is your digitals that have not gotten a physical yet at the time of this printing. So the interesting piece that I did here, though, is that time goes on, right? And games get released. So when games get a physical, like Blossom Tales got a physical, I put an actual check mark there. Like, look, we won. Because the idea is that we want everything to get a physical. So we're like, we won. We actually have a physical of this digital-only game. So to me, there we go. Yeah, so to me, like getting I actually added that to my own copy of the book where I had a check mark box. In this one, both of these games got a physical now.
Wow.
So those were digital only by the time that I released these. So we're doing that. There was a Kickstarter backer piece that also I'm going to go into here where it was Japanese only games. So non-English physicals. And people wanted me to cover them. I have no interest in collecting them, but people wanted it. So we created that as a stretch goal as well. So I covered every single non-English game that was released physically as well.
Wow.
I need to add a checkmark box because this is released physically now by Limited Run, Double Dragon 4.
Wow.
So that was recently announced. This is all year one, by the way. So year one, just so you know, year one is over 300 pages. Just year one.
Wow.
And it's not like I'm doing like a single page, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild here.
Yeah.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. An 8-page review, including full spread art and stuff.
Sweet.
So, like, we're not skimping on the content. And then I go if I've played and I do my own tracking of my own games. I use checkmark stickers, which I actually had available for Kickstarter backers. They're also available on Amazon. But if I've played it and if I've completed. So I haven't completed I Am Setsuna or Bomberman, Super Bomberman R, but I've played them.
Hey, Jeff, do you have Penguin Wars in that book by any chance?
I do.
Because when that came out, it came out as physical only at first.
Yeah.
Which was the only game I know of at the time, because the digital came like a year later. It was very strange.
That was Dispatch Games.
Yeah.
That was one of the few that they actually put out.
What was it called though? It wasn't called Penguin Wars. Was it called something else?
No, it's
No, it was Penguin Wars.
Maybe that wasn't year one.
It may have been year 2.
Yeah,
I
'cause
can't
I
remember.
know I've written a review on it. I just that's what I'm looking because I'm like either that or I missed it in the bag.
Because
That could happen because I'm not flawless.
I just thought of them because I got this. I got this game recently,
Nice.
and
oh nice Razion.
it's physical only. There's no digital of it.
Yep. As of now.
So
Yeah,
that is a current thing that we're seeing. Is we saw a couple companies doing that where they were talking about doing physical only releases with no digital, and then everybody's going crazy with that because they're like, well, you're kind of screwing over the developers, all that stuff. But I think those publishers are paying to finish the game. So
they did backpedal on it though. Like some of them are doing like Super Rare will put it on digitally like 6 months later on PC only. Special Reserve has a game right now that is only physical. I think the pre-orders end October 13th, and they state it's never going digital.
What game is that, Bear?
Demons something. It's another Demons game, ironically.
So I saw Papa Pete's question.
It's on specials.
I think if I did that, if I changed the cover art on the second edition, the second printing, the Switch Collector, I think I'd be a jerk. Like, because then people would want to buy it twice. Like, I don't really want people to feel obligated. I am going to update a couple things with verbiage. There's like a couple. I think one time one of the contributors said he was part of SRG. I assumed that was Super Rare Games, and it was Special Reserve Games that he worked with. And so that was a mistake.
The game is... Oh, I was going to say the game is Demon Throttle, by the way.
And then there was an actual physical game that I missed in Volume 1, but instead of adding it to Volume 1 on the second printing, I actually created a Lost But Not Forgotten section in Volume 2. So I posted the game in Volume 2. That way, anything that we might have missed from a previous volume we'll cover in a future volume. So that way you don't have to like go and get the updated version. Like you'll have everything regardless. And nobody noticed that we missed it until like I was looking through the list for year 2, and I'm like, wait, where is this game? And it is a super popular game. And ironically, that's how I knew JP hadn't looked at my book yet at that point, because it's his favorite game on the Switch. And it's not in there. So we missed Rocket League.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one. Yeah. So it's in Volume 2. I got a review about it in the section. I also did not put in there I think it's Pinball FX3 in the digital only section, which is an excellent game. So I actually added that to it as well because I love that game. My Super Nintendo collection. So the Super Nintendo collection book actually was me not sticking to my guns as a creator. So Joe Simcoe, the guy who did Garbage Pail Kids, did my NES book. He did the cover for it. I asked him to do one for Super Nintendo. Instead of doing a collaboration like he did on the first one, where the first one, he's blowing into a cartridge and all the characters are coming out in smoke, and it's all Garbage Pail Kid style. It looks amazing.
Wow.
The Super Nintendo one, he drew a Super Nintendo man. And a lot of people were mad that I wasn't consistent with the first one, like with the character collage. So when I did a second printing, I backpedaled and had another artist, because Joe was busy. I had another artist do a collaboration of it. And it's not as cool as Joe because he's a professional artist versus I had, a hobby artist do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I changed it. It wasn't actually a legal thing. It was actually I backpedaled and wanted to give people what they wanted, which was another collaboration piece. For the Switch Collector, so far in Volume 1 and 2, Rusty Shackles did the cover for both. And I would like to, hopefully he's still available to do Volume 3 because I like his art style and I want it like a consistent theme if I can. Yeah.
It's also a great name. Rusty Shackles.
Rusty Shackles.
Yeah,
Pretty
Rusty
sure that's
Shackles.
his writer name or his artist name too.
Could you imagine that as his real name?
That'd be amazing if that was his real name. Yeah, he did this art, Rusty.
That's such a good art piece.
Yeah.
And
then ironically is the limited slipcase for this one is this. The difference is very minute. But if you notice, notice it's docked. There's a dock.
Wow.
Oh,
I like the Iwata piece too there.
On the back is a
That's
water.
so awesome.
oh,
Tribute to, and then of course this is like the back of a Switch box.
Right.
Case. And then of course we got the spine.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just a classic book series. I'm gonna absolutely be doing the same exact style, same exact template, same exact format, so it all lines up perfectly, just like with our premium edition releases. And I mean, I'm probably not going to gild or do anything crazy. That'll save that for our premium edition guides. And Papa P was asking if his shirt with the Super Nintendo Man is hard to find. I think he's the only one who has one. So yeah, I don't even have one.
There you go, Pete. You one of a kind shirt.
I was going to say Pete's good with that.
He is. He's
no pressure when you wear it though. No pressure.
Last time he was wearing it when we recorded with GoGameGo.
Oh, that's right. And he didn't even know you were coming on, which was such a weird thing.
That was funny.
Hey, what's that Space Invaders sign behind you, Jeff?
So that is actually the bezel from the arcade.
I was going to say.
Yeah, and then underneath that is actually a black and white picture. We did an Ottumwa, Iowa reshoot, Life Magazine reshoot, and I'm in the picture with all the world record holders, and I'm right next to Billy Mitchell, the legend himself.
Oh, wow.
We were just...
Yeah.
We just showed this picture, not that one, but the original one on our show. Is this it here?
Yeah. Yeah, so
that's the original one.
Yeah, that picture right there was done. I got an award for one of my first books, my Hidden Gaming Gems book from Walter Day, and I went to a card signing event with my first Walter Day card, and we redid that right there in that same spot, and I'm leaning on one of the arcades.
Wow.
And there's a lot more people now. Walter Day's in the middle like a shaman. It's pretty rad, though. And that picture that I have was in Guinness. Was in the Guinness Book of World Records, the Gamers Edition.
Wow.
Yeah. But the bezel that's there, the Space Invaders bezel, that's actually got a cool story where we were going to a place. It was a craft warehouse in Indiana, and it was there was a ton of arcades in there, and they were all like destroyed. Like completely, like there was water raining down on it.
Oh shoot!
And, I went inside. There was actually a cellar, a bread like freezer, refrigerator, and I was able to find a bunch of arcades in there. And there were a bunch of Space Invaders that were disheveled. And I actually pulled that Space Invaders as well as a ton of other marquees. I pulled a bunch of boards off, a bunch of joysticks. I got tons and tons of paperwork and different instructions for arcade machines. But there was so much, like it was like a graveyard. There was so much instruction. But yeah, we saved, I want to say about 6 or 7 arcades. And then most of them did not work because of all the rust and damage, but we were able to get a lot of it fixed.
Wow.
Yeah, I got stories for days, Kevin. Like, I've been doing craziness for a long time. Was Todd Rogers in that original photo? Let me see.
We were talking about the exact same thing on our last show. We're trying to figure out if he was in there or not.
So in mine, Todd Rogers is not in the reshoot. In that one, Todd Rogers is. If he is, he's in the top right-hand corner. But I don't think he is. Yeah, maybe he is. I think he is in the top right.
So wait a minute. When was the photo taken that you did?
The one that I have, I want to say was 2014.
And you got most of these guys back, or did they not part of it?
Yeah. Let me grab it real quick since I think I have enough cord here. So I actually have it on photo on canvas here. So this thing, let me make sure it's on camera. So so I'm right here, actually. I'm right here.
I got it. I'll take it. Hold on.
There we go. Yeah, so Billy Mitchell's right there. I'm right here. Ironically, Billy Mitchell has to be taller than everybody, and I'm holding him up on a chair. Like I'm literally holding the chair with my leg while we're taking this picture. Then right here is the guy who did the Donkey Kong fake record, Steve Saunders. He's right here. And then Joel West, he's the guy who did I want to say it was Tempest. But Joel West is there. He was in the original picture as well.
Billy Mitchell's by Centipede, right?
In that, yes, it was Centipede. But of course, he did the first ever Perfect Pac-Man as well as Donkey Kong, multiple Donkey Kong records.
So I don't know if I missed it, but what was the occasion? Oh, Tim McVeigh?
Tim McVeigh is right here. And so he was in the original. And I don't see Todd Rogers here. The mayor's right there, Mayor of Atumwa. But what was the occasion for this photo? I can't remember. So this one was a Walter Day event where he did basically a trading card signing or something like that, and he invited a bunch of people out. Yeah, exactly, Papa Pete. He had to be taller, and I was holding him up on a chair right here. Like, and this picture did get in the Guinness though, which is crazy to me. It's really hilarious. But yeah, the thing is though, is that through my Walter Day coordination right here and this event, I met this crazy hippie guy, George Lutz. George Lutz is a big, huge, not speedrunner, but long play guy. He played Hubert.
Okay, wait a minute. Isn't that the same name as the dad from Amityville Horror?
It is.
That's definitely Lutz. Yeah.
Do I get a patch for that or something?
I might get a patch for that. But George, we went to another Walter Day event on the East Coast where it was a Beckett signing of our cards or something, which Walter Day does rad stuff. Like he does crazy stuff. But George introduced me to a guy. He had this Sweet Rot book series, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I just asked him, like, "Hey, I like your style. Have you ever done NES art?" Because I was looking to do my Nintendo art. And he's like, "Yeah, I could do that." He gave me, he said, "Yeah, I'll do your Nintendo cover for your Nintendo book." And then as I walked away with George, he's like, "You just got Joe Simcoe, who does Garbage Pail Kids, to do your artwork for your book." I was like, I need to go to Kickstarter. So I was thinking, like, I need to crowdfund this thing now because now I got something cool. Like Walter Day actually through his events, like met me with, connected me with people that I currently still, talk to this day. And I haven't, had any working relationship with Joe since the Super Nintendo cover. But really ridiculous. But yeah, Walter Day, like I actually did a Walter Day book and I just gave it to him because he helped me out. Like I did it, crowdfunded it, gave all the books to him just because he helped me out. Like I was like, that's the least I could do because he wanted a card book of his cards. I did the first year for him.
I just love they redid a photo like that because the original photo was so iconic. Do you remember?
They had to redo it.
Did they bring back?
Knows about it. Nobody knows about it. That's the best part.
Do you remember? Did they bring back the same cheerleaders?
I mean, those are just high school cheerleaders again.
I'm just curious if they invited the same. Same women back.
She's one of the original cheerleaders. She's one of the original cheerleaders right there in the middle.
See that kind of stuff's awesome when you take the time to.
Yeah, all the rest are actually the
current.
What's the time frame between photos?
I think it was the 30-year or 40-year anniversary. I think it was the 40-year anniversary.
I mean, the original had to be like 82 or so. So
I thought it was earlier than that. Was it not? Or am I crazy?
No, probably 80.
84? Is it 84?
Well, then it had to be 30, not 40 years.
I thought it was 84, unless it's because I don't think it was 74.
Well, you said it was done. You said it was 2014. So 30 years would have been 1984. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
I have the original Life magazine too. I have the full magazine.
Wow.
What's funny is there's like little like card strips of all the guys too in it.
Did you end up? Did you find that somewhere, or did you have it?
My wife found it or something and gave it to me for Christmas one year. She thought it was funny.
Wow.
And then
and here you end up in a redo picture.
And then Guinness magazine,
And then
Guinness Book of World Records, which I actually never got a copy of until I found it at a Goodwill here once I moved out to Georgia.
Perfect.
Copy at a Goodwill.
Perfect.
I was like, oh, that's perfect. Here's me. I'm in this. I don't know who Radar O'Reilly is.
Oh, from MASH.
Oh, I don't think so.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think you and Pete can be friends anymore because that's his favorite show of all time.
Because a random guy wasn't at a photo shoot that I did.
Oh no!
Yeah, I don't.
That's when I found out
Shots fired.
my good buddy was a Dallas. He liked Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, what no, we have to discuss this because that's not right.
I wish I had time to watch more TV. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Too busy.
I'm torn.
Sad face for Pete.
Let's get a gamer.
Nobody wants that.
No, nobody wants Pete to be sad. Now his drone has a sad face on it when it's going to deliver your games.
His drone just crashed.
Papa Pete drone.
Oh, Oak City Gamer said he goes to Goodwill, gets lots of awesome games. I have never found anything good video game wise at a Goodwill.
Oh, I have.
Every time I come
have.
in, it's like 8 copies of Madden and NHL and
Yeah.
Like,
I found very rarely have I found anything good.
Yeah. It's not like I find them all the time, but I have
You
found
know what's
them.
crazy though right now is that my wife, her best friend just moved out here, and back in the day, when I say back in the day, like 10 years ago, not that long ago, we used to play Rock Band a lot.
Yeah.
On Xbox 360. Well, she just moved out here. She's like, hey, we want to play Rock Band. So I dig out my 360. I found my copy. Could not find the disc for Rock Band 3, so I had to go buy it. Rock Band 3 is $60 now online.
what?
Because of COVID, everything went up because so many people are at home.
Even crazier, though, is that I look in my guitars from moving. They're all rusted out because I left the damn batteries in them because I'm a dork.
Oh, no.
And so we went to try to clean them, but it actually pulled off the contacts and stuff, the batteries. So neither one works. We have 2 Rock Band guitars, and neither works. My keytar works from Rock Band 3, and my drums work, and the microphone works. But so we're like, oh, we'll just go find them at Goodwill. We saw them all the time. Nope. There ain't a single damn guitar. You look up the guitars and shit, you're talking hundreds of dollars now for Rock Band or Guitar Hero 7.
What?
Yeah, because of COVID. Because so many people were stuck at home, they couldn't do anything, and they remember having so much fun with Guitar Hero and Rock Band when it was so big. So everyone decided all at the same time to start getting guitars and playing that with their families, and now the prices are insane.
So I should start selling my guitars. I got like 5 of them.
You will make money on it.
You'll make some bucks on them, $50, $100, whatever it is.
Okay. Because I got Wii ones and I've got PlayStation ones.
They're all going up.
Oak City Gamers is going to send me a rock.
Nice.
I'm not getting a guitar. That's weird.
You know what's crazy, though, is I used to have the Pro guitar for Rock Band 3. The Pro guitar had a million buttons on it. It sucked. I could not play it. I play real guitar, and I couldn't play it. It was terrible.
Yeah, I can't play. I suck at those games.
Ironically, is I'm pretty damn good at the drums. Besides playing guitar, I play drums. So actually, Rebel Gaming Club, Dan's trying to get me to play drums with them, and I'm like, well, I don't live near you. Otherwise, I would play for River City Rebels,
right?
With you,
right?
Yeah, we didn't realize this, but we were playing an entire night, and we were like, man, there's not that many keyboard songs on Rock Band 3 because we also have Rock Band 1 and 2 on there. I did get in the disc, of course. And then we realized, my wife was like, oh, look, you can play the guitar or the bass parts with just like 4 or 5 keys on the keyboard. So I'm like, well, at least I could play some stuff.
Right.
But yeah, we were like, one person was sitting out for a while. Now I can't play the thing like a keytar. I have to actually sit down and play the keyboard.
Yeah, I just don't like I don't know. I mean, I haven't been playing for very long, and I don't practice that for very long. And I always get nervous. I see the buttons coming. I'm like, wait, what? I mean,
You got to practice.
The
Slow it
You
drums
do.
is even harder because you got to hit the pedal every time it comes on, and
yep.
like it's just doing that to a prescribed like pattern is what's
Yeah.
interesting. And I mean, I can play normal drums easily.
Yeah, my best thing with any of those games is give me a microphone.
Yeah,
Just
You do the
let me
vocal.
sing, and we're good.
yeah,
So
the
I-
singing's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is. I did Roundabout one night with my friends down the way, and sang that, and they were doing whatever else they were doing. But yeah, no,
You said the Rock Band, the licenses have expired, so that means you probably can't download them online, which also is probably why those damn discs are so expensive.
You can still play them if it's on disc or you've already downloaded it, though.
Yeah, but I think he's probably talking about like trying to re-download some stuff.
yeah.
Or
I don't know. I just want to go through my collection now and start pulling everything and sell it.
Yeah. Oh,
Then I
prices
can
on
buy
retro stuff
premium
is
edition
insane.
games with the money.
There you go.
Well, and that's the thing too is like boxed NES games. If you have any sealed box Nintendo games, like original NES, they're thousands of dollars. And I mean, if you get them graded and they're mint, they can go for a mint. And I have a bunch of mint sealed games. I got Dragon Warrior, I have Legacy of the Wizard, I have Friday the 13th, all mint sitting here boxed. And it's like, I just need the time because I'm sitting here creating stuff, but like I can, I have a, 20, 30-year collection here.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I got a Vectrix sitting right there.
Yeah, I was
That's
looking
the
at that.
key. Just all about time.
Right here is a Sharp NES TV right off camera. Like,
Well, some of it's time and some of it's money. I mean, for me to do this with my comics and get them graded,
Yeah, it's money too.
it's a lot of money, and with no guarantee that you're going to sell it.
Of course. Everything's a gamble.
Right. Which I am
Wait.
just not a gambler all the time.
Pete's saying some of the songs on the disc no longer work. So does Rock Band connect? Do you have to connect to the internet to play
Well, I'll
Rock?
say if you turn off the internet, then it can't gray out because
Yeah.
yeah.
must be
So,
connecting somehow.
fortunately, there's no wireless on our Xbox 360, so we just don't connect that shit to the internet.
So,
Just
yeah.
leave it unplugged. I actually need to let my wife know to never plug that into the internet.
Yeah.
well,
that's-
it can't remove anything on the disc because even if you connect to the internet, it's like, oh, now you can't play it once you disconnect from the internet. That data's still on the disc. The song is on the disc. You can
Yeah,
still
but
have to play it.
what he's saying is it grays it out, so you just can't start it.
I assume once you get off the internet, it would ungray out then.
Unless
it's-
it's an update or some crap.
Oh, that's true.
Ugh,
It could be an update.
Gross. See,
That
that's
sucks.
the thing. That's just censorship. That's horrible. That
That's-
is
sucks.
why I like preservation. Like, as you have an ownership of it, like it's
Right.
yours.
Yeah.
right.
You're not
Especially
going
the
to
physical.
turn off Super Blood Hockey at some point, are you?
No.
Things grayed out.
Well,
No.
No, I mean, the thing is, though, you mentioned that, Jeff, but like if they have online leaderboards or something, eventually the online
Yeah.
servers will change. That's where the pirates and the hackers actually are providing the utility. Is that okay? So we can't get all this stuff. Well, technically, it'll be available somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It'll be available
Yeah,
somewhere,
right.
and then somebody's got to create a server or something, so that way
Right.
we can literally keep that server going.
Yeah, the whole online thing and constantly downloading, it's annoying because there are those negatives, and that's the one big thing about digital only games where, when the licenses went off, Scott Pilgrim at the time, and obviously like Turtles reshelled, and on the original 360 Live Arcade, they had like Gauntlet and like all the Midway games, Joust, they're all taken down, and like that sucks because if you hadn't downloaded them, they're gone. There's no physical versions of those, and that's a real shame. So we
Yeah.
definitely want to avoid that, and that's why we want the whole game on the card. So no matter what, you're getting the full game, because I think it's wrong if you purchased a game to remove
Yeah.
content. That's
Yes.
just wrong.
That's Indian giving is what they
Yeah.
used to call
Could
it.
you
right?
imagine if you bought a CD and
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, let's say Reprise Records had a CD
Yeah.
and then the band now is signed onto a new record and Reprise now lost the rights to that record so that the band can print it with a new record label. You put in your Reprise version of it and suddenly your CD player or whatever's like, "Oh, you can't play these songs because Reprise lost the license to them."
Yeah.
Like that would be so terrible.
Yeah, that would suck.
Oh man.
You have like Metallica Black Album, you can't play Enter Sandman on it.
Yeah, right.
It's grayed out. Go to the next song.
Oh,
It's like, no, you can't do that. That's not the way it is. So
Any of that makes sense. Like,
yeah. I mean, especially the disc. Like, I can understand maybe the download. I mean, you did pay for it, but the disc stuff is printed on the disc.
right.
Like, that is right there. That should be that should have been in the contract. Like,
Right.
forever, this is going to be on the disc, and
Right.
it's forever playable on the disc.
Right.
That's horrible. Now I wonder, what about like the Switch games? They have the Let's Sing. You know, there's lots all licensed music. It's karaoke games. Is that going to carry over into that until you pop it in? Oh, this song can't be. Just Dance as well. Both have licensed music.
My daughter has one of the Just Dance games, and she loves that thing. It'll take away the one song she likes. She's gonna not want to play it.
Right.
And they're being so picky now, like with like the Nintendo Direct that just happened at E3. You know, everyone who co-streamed that, or you know, who streamed it, like the reactions when they showed Just Dance 2022, they all had to quickly mute the volume because they would get copyright struck because there was licensed music being played, and it's like, that's terrible. Like, come on, guys! Like that should be a commercial. That should be, oh wow, I love that song. Well, cool. Now maybe I want to buy that album. Like, it shouldn't be, oh, you're using my song and trying to make money off of my stuff. No, come on. It's the 10 seconds of a clip.
Well, and that's what I think
They
about.
licensed it to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they licensed it to the game.
Yeah.
Which they want
yeah.
Ubisoft to sell the game.
And that's the way I feel about it. If I barely have something playing in the background and I'm talking over it, I'm like, who's going to be using this for entertainment?
Yeah, I had what was it? I was doing a Facebook live stream where I was like working on perlers, or I was creating. I think I was doing patches or something, and I was creating. Oh no, I think I was putting together NES cartridges, and I had some music playing, and they actually took down my stream on Facebook while I was live.
They've never done that to me on there, and I do that a lot when I would do a post for either Hammer Away or for the Open Jam. I would do that. I'd stick music in and have a song playing on purpose because I want to tell people about this band when I'm doing my announcement. I'm like, hey, check these guys out. This is what it is. This is a song called this. It's from this album. And then, hey, let me tell you about the Open Jam tonight, or let me tell you what I'm doing on Hammer Away or whatever. So, I don't know. But they never took any of mine down that I know.
Yeah, it was just weird. Terrible.
Yeah.
Too many people are too picky. What's up?
You mentioned E3. What did you guys think of, Xbox and Switch, the two big ones? Their shows.
Chaos. Like, I mean, we've mentioned that we're going slow as a company so we can focus on stuff. Like, I'm watching this stuff and I'm like, all these games get 15-second little sizzle reels, and I'm like, I don't remember half of them. I'm watching all the recaps, and I'm like, I completely forgot about that game that was coming out. Holy crap, that's awesome! Like, I'm excited. Obviously, I'm super excited about Metroid, though, for sure. There were a lot of amazing games announced, though. Obviously, the new Halo Infinite, you mentioned Microsoft. That'll be cool. But I'm not much of a first-person shooter. Not much of an online.
Yeah, that's my problem. I watched Microsoft's, and I imagine it was pretty good. I like the way they did it. It was just like one game after another, very little talking. But most of them were first-person shooters, and I'm like, I don't play first-person shooters.
I still haven't been able to find a Series X or a PS5, so I'm going Switch all day, and then we play PS4. But
see, for me, unfortunately, working games media, it was a very busy time because I was actually writing down like every game announced. And by the time I had a list and I looked at it, there were so many games announced, even just for the Switch. It was insane. It was just several hundred games were announced and shown off, and I was like, oh my god, this is just crazy. I don't remember half of them. They were shown so quickly, and I'm like, I have to go back and look at all these trailers. As for the two you mentioned, I thought Microsoft had a good show. Like you mentioned, way too many first-person shooters. I am not a first-person shooter fan. That was my high school. I'm passe. I'm done that. There was just, and they all look so similar that it's just like, all right, another one, oh, another one, and then like at the end, it had like, oh, here's this brand new game. Like, oh, this is kind of cool premise, but it's vampires with the guns. Oh, it's another first-person shooter. Really, like. I thought some of the stuff that was a Yuden Chronicles from Suikoden looks fantastic. I kickstarted that. That's coming to all systems. That looks amazing, like Octopath Traveler. Forza Horizon 5, I think, looks phenomenal. Like the graphics on that are unbelievable.
That was one of the games I was like, okay, that looks
wow. Flight Simulator. I'm interested in maybe giving that a try. That looks fantastic too. That's coming to the Series X. Those are probably the biggest highlights for me. Sea of Thieves getting a Pirates of the Caribbean update looks neat, but I'm not playing it. But I like that for the Pirates fans.
Mm-hmm.
As for Nintendo, I'm a very controversial here where I think it was an 11 out of 10. And the reason I say that is not even just for me. I think, the games that I really want to play, Metroid Dread, of course, new Mario Party, those type of games I really want to play. But I'm just so excited that Advance Wars is back. Yeah, I hear an echo.
It's on Jeff's side because when he mutes it, it goes away.
It goes what? Huh.
He's making an echo.
Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah,
I love seeing Advance Wars get a reboot.
So to see Advance Wars come back is great because there's so many fans of that game. Yeah, see, now there's that echo. It's all your fault.
It's kind of weird that it's never there, and then all of a sudden it's there. Like
it just hopped on. There was a little hum at the beginning, but now that he plugged in his headphones, it went away.
It went away, yeah. So it was all Jeff. But so for games like
it was all Jeff's
It's not
fault.
me, it's you.
I think it was you last time, actually.
Like that new line when they say, that when they say it's not you, it's me. It's
but
really you.
Like to see stuff like Advance Wars come back, I'm so happy because that means that a franchise may not truly be dead and can come back. And I'm not a huge SRPG fan, but I know there's a ton of people that love it. The new Smash character doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a huge Tekken fan, but I know there's a ton of Tekken fans. And I think that's where it is you can't expect any show to be 100% you. It has to be, for everybody. There's got to be things there for everybody. And for me, the fact that I feel that overall most people would be pleased. I know some people were upset that Zelda 35th wasn't handled in a different way. They were expecting the Wii U ports and they were expecting the 3DS ports.
They gave us the Game & Watch.
Instead, they give us the Game & Watch. But it's so funny because these same people are usually the same people complaining, oh, there's too many ports. Stop porting Wii U's. Now they're crying because they don't get the ports. It's like, make up your mind.
Choose a side of the fence and stick on it.
Truth.
And the truth is maybe your game that you were really hoping for hasn't been announced yet. Or maybe, Bayonetta 3 wasn't shown off. Metroid Prime 4 wasn't shown off. That stuff's coming. There's so many games just in this holiday for the Switch. It's insane. If you don't count that fact,
we didn't get your T-shirt. We didn't get, Wind Waker.
No, we didn't. We didn't get Wind Waker.
We did not get Wind Waker.
But the Switch now is getting some ports of games that I felt should have been there from the beginning, and I think more people should play, like the Life is Strange series, which I personally think is fantastic, and the Danganronpa series, which I also think is fantastic, and I think both those series are two series that people should be playing.
Well, now let me ask you this: I just got this.
Oh, Strange Brigade.
Yeah, and they have a new one coming out. Is that right, or is this porting to something?
I think it's ported to the Switch.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's anything new.
Are they adding any content for the Switch version? Because sometimes they throw a piece on it. I mean, now it won't run at a full 60 frames per second in 4K HD because it'll be some kind of variable frame rate / quality because the Nintendo Switch is a different powered machine. That's always the case. Now with like games like Doom and Witcher 3, they can work magic, obviously.
So you guys are do you guys enjoy like a third person shooter then?
I enjoy first-person shooters if they're done right. Like, I mean, you had that game Iron Fury that came out recently that's just like Duke Nukem, like old school Doom, old school Duke. There's a bunch out there now. A couple that were announced at E3. One was by Limited Run. That looked like a really awesome sequel to a first-person classic style. Third-person shooters I enjoy. It really depends on the games too, because like I'm not a fan of a lot of roguelike games, but like Robot Named Fight and Demon's Tier Plus like completely connected with me. So like it really depends on the title. A good game is a good game.
I kind of, I don't know if over the years I really would have to think. I think one of the major third-person shooters that I played was Resident Evil 4 ported for the Wii.
Nice.
And I love that. But I mean, the only other thing that I love that much is Uncharted.
Good series.
I mean, I love those. And then when I saw the E3 with this on it, I'd never even heard of this game.
I mean, you think about Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, now 5.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. All those. I mean, even realistically, like where Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn are in that same realm because they all have bows and things to shoot.
Yeah, and I guess like Spider-Man, even those games.
I wish I had time for open world games though. Like there's just so many RPGs and open worlds are insane.
See, I used to love first-person shooters, and over the past, I don't know, say 6 years or so, I wound up, due to some stuff going on in my life, my body like reacted to the stress in a weird way and actually gave me vertigo. And when I got hit with my first bout of vertigo, it just rocked me. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't do anything. And I've gotten over it, but ever since then, first-person games have triggered that with like if the camera moves too quickly it starts to make the head spin, and I was like, oh my God, like playing this is making me visually sick. And like I struggled through, like I did BioShock Infinite, and I'm like, no, I want to play this, I've heard good things. I did that one and I enjoyed it. Now I try and stay clear of first person. Third person I'm great with as long as the camera can go back. Like I hate when cameras are like right up the character's butt, because then it gives me that same effect. But if I can pull the camera back, I can play this all day. And I just did Danganronpa has a spin-off called Ultra Despair Girls, which isn't coming to the Switch unfortunately, but it's a third-person shooter. It's kind of like Resident Evil in a sense. It's I found it a lot of fun, but I found myself having to like have a fan on and take some breaks because the camera was like very close. And I was like, all right, I can play this in bursts, and I really want to finish it, and I'm glad I did. But you know, if I would be able to pull the camera back, for me that helps. And that's just like, I hate getting dizzy because that just knocks me out.
It's too bad they can't, you know, it's not within a budget to animate it multiple ways. I mean, to be able to play a game as a third person or as a first person.
Well, there's a lot of games with camera options too, where you can zoom out or zoom in, and some people like to zoom all the way in, and that's great. I think giving gamers the options of how to play is the best thing you can do, because then it just makes the accessibility there for everybody. Camera in and out, inverted or non-inverted for X and Y axis, change the button configurations, just let people be able to enjoy your game.
How they want to do it,
How they want to do it. You know, some people don't like a lot of games will do like shooting with the trigger buttons, and some people don't like that. Some people would just prefer to push a button. Let them push a button. It's not going to change the game.
That's a good call, Barry.
That's where
nice.
I like this stuff, where they have like the quick buttons where you can put the trigger down to a quick button too. So I can just kind of alter map my stuff.
I don't understand why every game doesn't have mapping. For pinball games, I still like to use A
left in the A.
And this. It just feels good. I don't know why. I mean, it looks goofy.
Because you're broken like I am.
Nothing wrong with that.
The pinball games, almost all of them now, you have to use one of these.
Usually it's the thumps. And
most of them don't even give you a choice. I'm like, it's such a simple thing, isn't it? I mean, I can't imagine that's...
Well, and that's where it was cool with Demon's Tilt. He actually had it only rotate one way, and I have the pin switch where it's actually put the switch inside of the little pinball machine, And I emailed the developer, and I said, hey, can you switch the orientation or allow it to switch? Because then I can actually play it in my pin switch. And he actually programmed it in for me.
Hey Jeff, could you email him back about this control here? I emailed him about it, and he said, why would you ever want to change the button mapping?
Because I'm broken, and I need my.
And I was like, because that's how I like it.
Super Nintendo control scheme. My Nintendo, what was it? Pinball, NES pinball control scheme.
Yeah, because I think it played most of my pinball games on DS.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think by now people would stop asking questions like that, because you're like, we've gotten to know that people do things differently, and that's okay.
If it's
and yet at the same time,
I see they ask like, any thoughts on shoulder buttons for rotating in Tetris? That's
the other thing that drives me nuts is when they use A to jump instead of B on the Switch controller, but it's A on the other controllers. Like, I want my jump and my run and my jump to be right where the thumb is, not over here.
Yep.
And like Super Nintendo did that right, but every single damn emulator you have, they're hard coded in, and AB will be AB, and you have to go like that and rotate your whole hand over. Like, allow me to remap it so it can just be comfortable.
Yes.
Allow me to remap it, because that's my major issue. Because I have some cool ass emulators. I have an Odroid Super that's on like a Switch and it plays all the old shit. But the problem is that the AB are hard coded in, and it's like, I just want to be able to hold it comfortably.
Yeah, it's funny. Look at even bigger games like Nintendo's own Luigi's Mansion 3. Like, you can't change the controls. You can't invert them. So it's one of those where it feels like when I played it, it felt backwards the entire game. And I played it and I loved it. I'm like, oh, if I could just change and invert the controls, I feel the vacuum would just work so much better for me. And like, why isn't that there? That, at the time it was like, 2019. Like, this should be there. But you know what? This could be one of those cases where Balan Wonderworld did something right. I mean, they'll let you pick any button you want to do the exact same thing.
Do you know what Balan Wonderworld is? Show us on the creepy mannequin where they hurt you.
if you haven't played that, every button does the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, I mean, the issue with Balan is that literally you should have been able to rack and stack all the powers. Instead, you just switch between different costumes and you get to do one thing.
You should be able to jump and attack.
Mario and the NES could do more than that.
But they let you pick, if you want to use the X or the Y or the A or the B, you get to do that. Your choice.
You get a damn costume that can't jump in a platformer.
and then turns to a box and throws you off a cliff at random.
The one couldn't jump, it could stretch his head really high.
It's so bad.
One just punches.
Well, is there, I had a discussion with a friend of mine recently. Is there any games that aren't ported for the Switch that you're just like, why haven't they worked? Why haven't they done this? And instead of some of the, what is it?
A lot of ones on the Wii U. I mean, you're wearing a shirt for one of them. What the hell's their issue for not porting Wind Waker or Twilight Princess? I mean, sure they were all expecting it for the 35th anniversary, but it didn't happen yet.
And they know we're all going to buy it for a third time anyway, so they might as well put it out.
$60 probably too.
I think COVID hit them hard, but I do expect that. I do expect like Xenoblade Chronicles X is probably coming. Some that I think money is the issue, like Monster Hunter Stories 2 is coming out right now for the Switch. Monster Hunter Stories 1 should have been ported. Like, hey, a lot of people didn't play it on the 3DS. Let's port that to the Switch, and then you get both games. Like that to me, that seems like a no-brainer. That's really where I feel.
What else is a no-brainer for me, which is crazy because it would literally print money? Where the hell is Wii Sports?
They did that already.
Literally have a controller. Where the hell is Wii Sports? Like, they need to port the Wii Sports one from the Wii U over because it would literally print money and you can use the Switch controllers for it. We need drunk Wii bowling back in our lives.
You can get the Clubhouse games.
Who's Nobody not hot to throw a ball at 100 pins?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody played Clubhouse games. That was a horrible representation.
But bowling is there.
No, it's not. It's pinball.
It is weird that we own that, and I've never touched it.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, that's what I need to do. Sometime I need to, with my wife, I need to go, hey, let's
I actually
check
like
this
the
out.
darts where you use the Joy-Con and
Yeah, it was
do
done
that.
well.
It actually worked really well.
It's a game that came out and people forgot about.
What about
Sports on
the one my friend
would not buy?
and it was great because he was very funny when he was mentioning it the other day, because he was doing the little acting like he was a little kid having a little fit, because he goes, what about Mario Strikers?
Yeah,
just do Super Strike.
All the sports games from Mario. Yeah,
I mean,
well,
that was such a great game, and it was online. Why not have people you could play? Jeff and I could play. We could all play. Whatever.
Nintendo just bought the studio. It's like a couple months back, so there's always a chance it will.
I mean,
we'll they did what, Luigi's Mansion 3. They just did Luigi's Mansion 3. So, they'll probably move on to something, and there's a possibility.
Nintendo only releases so many games per quarter, so they're definitely stacking releases. It's just there's always more that they could do. Now there's a lot of third-party stuff that hasn't been moved over. That's interesting too.
Well, he mentioned Boom Blocks the other day too.
Nice.
Steven Spielberg.
That's EA. That's all on EA though.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few games that we could see downported even from PS3 era or.
Where's
wouldn't be
Sega with
PS3.
Where's Sega with Samba? I mean, Samba the Amigo. You got Joy-Cons. It's a perfect matchup.
There's no reason why we shouldn't have that.
I would just take it as a straight port.
Sega's been letting a lot of other people bring their games over, like Panzer Dragoon, and now House of the Dead. They're being done by Forever Entertainment, and Shenmue 3 was done by another studio. They're just letting their IPs go. So all it takes is somebody to approach Sega and say, we want to do another Samba de Amigo on the Switch. And they'll probably be like, okay, sure.
Do it,
what?
Barry.
Do it. Yeah, sure. I'll do it. Right.
Yeah, you got that, Barry.
Right now.
That's a weekend and a half right there.
Clearly.
Premium Edition game is a Series 3 title.
You know how much that license probably costs?
No, I don't, Barry. Ask them.
Jeff wants to know how much a Samba de Amigo license costs.
That's where your research begins.
Yes.
They might say free.
That's
Alex Kidd is that
game looks really good.
I'm excited.
Monster Boy, like all those are they're just being licensed out.
Now, a game that recently was ported that I actually got in yesterday, Ninja Gaiden 1-2-3 trilogy just came out.
Wow, really?
On Switch.
Yep. And Switch and PS4, but it's only Asian English.
Definitive editions, which is really cool. So it's like the best versions of all the games, the Sigmas and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool that we finally got that. So I still think that there's plenty of opportunity for us to get a lot of stuff over the years.
The Switch is not dying anytime soon, even after a Switch 2. It's like the PS4 and the Xbox One are going to be supported for the next year or two. The Switch is going to be supported well into its successor life, especially if whatever new console Nintendo comes out with is backwards compatible, like the PS5 and the Series X.
I still think Nintendo's doing this with the Switch, upgrading like we do our phones, and it's going to be one of those things where they continue to use that card medium that they have proprietary ownership of, and they continually upgrade the tech inside like we do our micro SD cards. And then they just continue to update the specs, and we'll have the Switch Pro will literally be like the iPhone 10 to 11 or 11 to 12. And they did that with the 3DS. They did that with all of their portables, and the Switch is a hybrid.
My only hope about that is that their cards become cheaper over time, so that you don't have 2K getting like the 2 gig card for a 30 gig game and saying, oh yeah, you have to download the rest of it, being cheap. Like, make it so the developers can put their whole game on the cards without them breaking a bank.
Yeah, because it's expensive right now.
Yeah,
you know that for sure. I would love for them to lower the minimum quantity. We could release a lot more.
Oh yeah, if they did it to 1,000, we could definitely do a lot more.
And everybody else would too.
Everyone else would too. You're right.
Have all your games so far been on a 8 gig cartridge? Is that the smallest they have?
2 gig is the smallest.
2 gigs the smallest? Wow.
Yeah, everything's been on the smallest so far. Yeah.
So all in 2 gig.
So naturally, if we had to go higher, it costs more, which is why some publishers will charge 60 or do the cheap route like Capcom, where they'll put the smaller game on the smallest card and then the biggest game you have to download, because that makes a ton of sense.
Which I hate.
Or you'll see some games like Square Enix will take Final Fantasy X, 10-2, where 10 is only on the card and 10-2 is download. However, for smaller countries like the Asian English areas like Singapore, Indonesia, Bandai Namco said, well, we'll do Final Fantasy X-2 because it's a smaller country. We have a smaller print run, but we'll do a bigger card and put both games on the card. So if you buy that version, it's Asian English, so it's fully in English, and you get 10-2 on the card. But because
the rabbit hole goes very deep when it comes to collecting for the Switch.
Yep.
Even to the point where I asked them a question, and Barry and JP both ignored me. But I was like, hey, so the South Park game that was released, it originally had a download code for the Stick of Truth inside the Butthole game. Butthole game.
Fractured Butthole.
But I don't think
The Butthole game.
Yeah, but I don't think that the newer version, the latest print run, has that in there.
I have no idea.
It's $20 at Best Buy, and I'm tempted to just see, but then I'll have a copy of the game without the code in it because I don't have a copy of the game or a copy of the Stick of Truth for the Switch, and it's never been available physical on cartridge. It's only been a download code.
Yeah, which sucks.
I don't consider that a physical version.
No, absolutely not.
No, I've refused to buy those games. I think
that came for free in the original.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy it because you're still getting Fractured Butthole physically.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mega Man. But at least Mega Man got a Japanese release, which is in English. Because again, it's a smaller territory, so you can get Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 and X Legacy Collection 2 physically.
I've even picked up the Super Robot Wars games.
Oh yeah, those are great. Those will never come to America
because they're in English now. It's like amazing. I don't think they've ever been in English, have they?
They've been in English for a while. All the Vita releases, PS4 and Switch.
Okay.
I also got that Pervert game in Block Knockers or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like lewd game. I don't know.
Leisure Suit Larry. There's 2 of them now on the Switch that only came out in Europe.
Larry's are kind of tame though, are they not?
I mean, there's
still 2 on the Switch.
Yeah,
there's I about 1.
Yeah, there's
Block Knockers.
Yeah. Leisure Suit Larry has 2
Pretty sure that that's a Pervert game.
The first one, let me see, Leisure Suit. I forget the subtitles now on them.
I don't buy everything, so I purposely bought the Pervert game.
The first one was Wet Dreams Don't Dry, which is the one you might have, and the second one that just came out is called Wet Dreams Dry Twice.
Oh wow!
Dry twice.
Well, I just for the Wii, I found this. On Amazon.
Nice.
Brand new for $8.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome.
There's a lot of cheap.
Eventually, those are going to be through the roof.
Yeah, did you get? I was wondering. I was going to ask if you got it.
Samesies. Look at that. Twins.
Well, it was on our show last week. I'm like, I saw Battle Grids out there on the Wii, brand new for $8. Yeah, and we both ordered it.
We had some people complaining last week because they said every time we watch your show, we end up buying stuff.
Like Papa Pete said earlier.
Papa Pete said that.
He had all caps. He was mad.
Yeah, nice call, Jeff. Nice call.
Is this? I don't think this has a physical in the U.S. Does it?
Nope, only in Asia. Saga Frontier.
You guys are showing off that. Let me show off. I got Carpet Shark on the NES.
There you go.
By a band.
Legend of Mana is another one that's physical only in Asia.
All caps again.
I mean, look at that picture of that guy. Carpet Shark.
Wow. Yeah, I was having a rant about these guys because I'm like, what kind of budget do you guys have? I'm like, I'm still the guy that's like, hey, can I get this $5 game that's down to $5? I want to, and then I'm like, pre-orders. Oh my God, pre-orders.
Pre-orders are real. I have an app now they created called Shop or something. It tracks all your pre-orders, and I'm like, oh my God, I got a lot.
Oh yeah, Shop.
Yeah, so many.
I mean, we're adding to the madness with ours, but we're going slow, so you don't got to worry about a couple at a time. For,
Right.
See,
for premium.
that's a good thing because at least then you can afford to pick them up when you stagger them by a few months.
Well, plus, we make it an event with the patches. Then all of a sudden, people get in the games, and all of a sudden, everybody's playing them because our games are meant to be played. Which is funny. Is Barry sees it in Discord. People are like, "Well, what if we just want to collect them all? We should be able to get a patch." And I'm like, "It's not the idea."
No.
Like, we're literally working with developers that want to see their games played, and you're saying, "No, you should award us for just supporting." It's like that's not the idea behind.
You could buy 2, open 1. Play for the patch, keep the other one sealed.
Good call, Barry. Good call.
That's what you could do.
But no, they're going to bide their time and wait for somebody to list it on eBay for $1,000.
Possible.
Just for the patch.
But see, that's another thing. In addition to just going slowly, which helps everybody's wallet out, we also, like Jeff said, want them to be events. So we do things like, we do interviews with the developers. We get the developers involved in like our Discord and talking to the the fans and the community. And we really want to highlight those games. Like, we're talking Series 1 stuff because it's out and shipping. We're also talking Series 2 stuff. We're not really talking much about Cathedral right now because Cathedral's time hasn't happened yet. We're focusing on what's out now, what you can get now, and giving the love to Demon's Tier and to Robot Named Fight because they deserve it. Once that's passed, we'll continue talking about them just like, hey, these are out, order them now, but we're going to move to Cathedral. We're going to move to our other Series 3 games, and then et cetera, 4, 5, et cetera, as it goes on. And we really want the fans to not just appreciate the games, but the people behind the games, the stories behind the games, why these games are special, and why we chose them to be turned into a physical game.
Yeah.
I only started buying your games because of the patch. I had Super Blood Hockey. I got it on discount. And then I saw Crow from Crow Continuum did a video on your stuff. He was talking about the patch. I was like, patch? I was like, you kidding me? Patch?
What patch?
And I was like, I ordered both of them right off the bat. I was like, I'm getting these patches, man. I lost my Activision patches. I'm getting these.
Well, you'll have to follow suit with Demon's Tier and Robot Named Fight.
Well, that's a cool thing. I don't have any of the other games that you guys have coming out, so that works out perfectly.
Nice.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. Hey, that's me.
Hey, that is you.
Crow's still here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I always just have to be careful with things that I know I'm really going to play and things that I'm, and see where I am with stuff. But I mean, as soon as I get this Super Blood, I'll do my video or my photos and I'll post and
do your unboxing on it. We'll get you the unboxing patch.
Yeah, because I'll have to do that.
If Super Blood Hockey happened to have a sequel, do you think you guys would be doing that again as a physical? Since you've already done the first one?
Loren has already talked about doing a whole Super Blood series, a sports series, is something he wants to do. Whether he does it or not, we don't know.
Other sports, too. That'd be really nice.
And if he does, it's one of those things where we'll play it. And if we say this is really cool, then absolutely. We would hope he would go with us,
Well, I mean,
I can't say
on that Rampage. So
right now, he's doing that right now.
Terror of the Hemosaurus, I think is what it's called.
We're absolutely open to it, and we would love to continue, going down that rabbit hole of blood sports.
I'm just trying to think what sport. I mean, obviously football would be a no-brainer for blood sports, but
I think
baseball could be cool.
Baseball. Yeah, did you ever play the Midway one, the Slugfest? MLB Slugfest?
No, I haven't.
It was great because you hit the ball and you run to first base, and normally maybe an infielder gets it, throws to first baseman steps on the plate, you're out. In this, you could charge the first baseman and beat them up and get them to drop the ball and then get in the base safely and stuff because it was done by the blitz and the hits team. It's hilarious.
What if they had Super Blood synchronized swimming?
Oh, maybe that could be very dangerous. The blood would spread very quickly.
It certainly would. Or curling, maybe curling.
Bloody curling.
See, Papa Pete already earned 2 patches tonight, killing people
during the show tonight. Wow, look at that.
Oh,
what was that? What was that basketball game we used to play as a combat?
Bill Lambiers.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It was kind of slow moving, but it was kind of funny. punch people and
Well, like Mutant League Football, they created Mutant Football League on the Switch. I think is what it's called.
yeah.
And there's Blood Bowl as well. Blood Bowl 1 and 2. I think 2 is on the Switch.
Yeah, you could do like a tour de force game, just beating the
Blood
crap
Bowl's
out of
out
people
yet.
on a bike.
Isn't Blood Bowl coming out? Coming up?
Was not,
No, Blood Bowl. I thought Blood Bowl 2 is out already, and Blood Bowl 1 came out or on the PS4.
Maybe the PS4. I don't think the Switch is getting it till fall. They're getting one of them in the fall, I think.
Yeah, it's not yet.
Oh, maybe it's coming out soon. But PS4 definitely has it.
Either that Mutant League Football or Mutant Football League, whatever it's called on the Switch.
And
it's
that's
actually
how
really
I
good.
met. That's how I met the guy who did the voice for NBA Jam, because he did the voiceovers in that game.
Wow.
And he's marketing it.
I mean, just as a football game, it's very good.
Is his name. Tim Kitzrow. Met
that's
him
right.
at the partying with Paul Niemeyer.
Blood
Kevin
sports,
says the Olympics.
Olympics.
Blood Olympics. There you go.
There's a weird digital-only game I covered in Volume 2 of the Switch Collector called Super Sports Matchin', and it's almost cartoony, but I thought there's like a little violence to it. But they're all weird little Olympic-style games, and it's on the Switch digital only. Like that's one of those going in the book because it's really cool, and you can't find it in the eShop because it's such a common name.
Well, you definitely could do soccer.
Super Blood
yeah.
Soccer.
Yeah.
I think that's the next one he was talking about, actually, was soccer.
Well, it's easier to go from hockey to soccer. Like they're very
Exactly.
similar.
I mean, it's so much content. They should just do a rugby one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you could
Yeah.
tweet at him and ask him and say, "Here's some ideas for."
What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't phrase it that way, Jeff. Yeah. See, this is why we don't let Jeff talk to the customers.
Jeff. That's why we don't let you, Jeff.
What the hell's wrong with you, Lauren? How do you not have these out already?
No, I like the idea because they're so simplistic, though, that you do a whole round robin of different sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a golf story that
Sports
those guys
story,
are doing sports story. And did you see their latest tweet? They haven't tweeted in a long time about the game, but they said it's gotten the game. It was supposed to be out like summer of 2020, and it's not coming out anytime soon. They said it's become so big that just the tennis portion of it is basically its own game. So
That's great.
I don't expect to see this till next year sometime, but I love Golf Story.
I
Yeah,
love
Golf
when
Story's awesome.
games will come out with like different side content and make it the equivalent of its own game. Like to me, that's awesome.
Yeah, in golfs.
Yeah, it was like a golf. It was a golf game with both story based and
You know,
Yeah,
they-
It's in my top games for sure.
yeah. Hopefully, it comes out soon. I'm sure Limited Run will do that one.
Or premium
Sports Story.
Because if Limited Run ain't doing it, I would.
Oh yeah,
love
we can
to
do
a
Sports
physical
Story. Oh yeah.
Well, they did the
Assumption-
Golf Story.
Yeah, assumption is that Limited Run would do that one. But I mean, if they're not interested, hey, hit us up.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I know reading Barry's tweets, I know you guys follow other publishers like they're doing something similar to what you're doing. Have you seen any developers who've had one game published by one company and then just went with someone else for the next one? Does that happen very often?
Demon's Tier Plus.
Yeah, that's an
Went with
example
us.
right there.
Limited Run did the PS4 version. We got Switch version.
Oh, that's
And
interesting. It's the very same game.
And PlayAsia got the Vita version of it.
And PlayAsia got the Vita version.
Same game.
Yep. Streets of Rage 4. Like a million people published that game. Including Limited
Wonder
Run.
Boy. Or Monster Boy had published by Nicholas and Limited Run.
Yeah, Monster Boy.
Yeah, I bought Streets of Rage 4 from Limited Edition. I didn't realize it was going to be everywhere because it was already out with other people. I still hadn't gotten it. I was like, this is so irritating to see it in the store.
And then you look at other things like Way Forward, you know, they did Shantae, and even, you know, Shantae was published not only by Limited Run physically, but like Xseed did Half Genie Hero. Way Forward's now working on the Advance Wars game, which is, you know, Nintendo is publishing that. So you'll see that where a developer will go with different publishers, for sure. Even the other, you know, Demon's Tier Plus was what Corpse Riddled X or whatever the guy did as well. that Riddled Corpse X, I think it is, that came out on the Switch from Red Art Games.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
And I mean, our thing is that like we're not gonna reach out to a company like Devolver Digital who works with
That's
special
special,
reserve
sure.
games. We're not gonna reach out to them just out of common courtesy. But if a developer reaches out to us, which has happened, that works with another company, like we'll talk to them, and if we like the game, we'll tell them.
we're always open to talk to any developer. We're doing the series with the Playcast where we're pretty much letting people know, hey, these games have been reached out to us. Do you want us to do the physical? We want your opinion on that. But at the same time, we also don't want to sign 100 games and be like, all right, you're signed with us. We'll get to your game in 2024. We don't think that's fair to the developer, and we don't think that's fair to the gamers as well. So, we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. We want to go slowly. We want to make sure our next series in advance is ready to go and being worked on. But we don't want to say, oh, we have Series 6 titles, Series 7. We don't want to do that because that's not fair. Because
the
if
other
another
thing to get your minds going, though, and everybody that's listening, is think about what we did with Super Blood Hockey. Right? We had an upgrade, retro upgrade. I mean, what if we did that with any other game on the Switch?
Yeah.
Because developers have reached out to us. Like, imagine if we did a full hardcover strategy guide for a game. We did alternate insert that you could put in there from a game that only has a white insert on the inside that has a half-assed release, and we gave it a full color manual and a challenge card and patch.
Oh, that's fascinating. So you're talking about a game that's already out there. So you would have nothing to do with the game. You're just doing packaging and
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
And that way you already have the game, or we buy the games from them with their extra stock and we add it to it as well. We do our premium, give it a premium upgrade. If we decide, we could literally just put that game inside of a retro edition, like stuff like that. So I mean, there's some stuff we've been toying around with where like it's not just because they had the idea, like people have reached out to us for said things.
Yeah, because they've seen what we did with Series 1 and they were blown away and said, wow, I would love it if my game got that, but I've already signed with a different publisher, would it be able to do some kind of collaboration? So we've definitely been in talks with about the possibility of that.
That's a great idea.
Nobody's doing that. And I mean, we're going so slow too that we could, do a couple extra pieces of things without having to do the whole print run. The whole print run is what takes the time. Like if I'm just doing some manuals and some stuff, I mean, I just drink some beer on a weekend.
Kevin Walsh was asking, you thought it'd be cool to have different colored cards. I'm guessing that's not an option since I've never seen one.
No. Nintendo one color.
What if you hand painted them all and then put a sticker on?
Oh God. Well, you know what, Jeff?
Edition.
I'm so glad that you volunteered yourself to do this new task for us at the low price of nothing. I'm so glad you did that. We value your time
to go.
Now, that being said, though, to piggyback on that, we do have a partner with Retro Fighters, right? For Robot Named Fight. Retro Fighters is doing a version. Yes. They actually do these Switch cartridge holders that are NES cartridges, and they're doing a red Robot Named Fight one that's a different color. So they actually have a red cartridge, and it's like for Robot Named Fight. I don't know how they're gonna do that. I think I mean, as long as I get one, I'm cool with it. But I think I think we might try to like either cross sell them or do something. But I have a couple of the NES cartridges over.
So you're talking about these guys to do controllers like the N64?
Yep, and if you go to their website, they actually have their own art they're doing a custom slipcase and they're doing a custom retro box. They had some cool art get done that have a couple of different enemies that it's not Paul Niemeyer, they have their own artist, but it's still pretty rad, and it has the same retail version in there. Now, we haven't been able to convince them to sell it as an upgrade yet, but maybe as time goes on, maybe we can convince them.
For the variant collectors, though, it is a different packaging, and that's just part of the thing. So you get a different slipcover, you get different retro box, and we specifically asked them, like our retro box is done like Super Nintendo, it's horizontal. So we specifically asked them to do it vertical, like an NES style box. So that's what they
Very
did.
nice.
So their retro box looks very different than ours, which is great because they complement each other, but at the same time they're different. So it's really, you know, and their versions will come with challenge cards, so you can still earn patches.
Yeah.
But
It's the same retail edition.
same retail
inside,
edition
so
inside.
same
So
artwork and everything.
so other than the same manual, everything, but their retro editions, and then the same steelbook. They're also getting the same steelbook in their retro edition, but they're throwing in their own bonuses as well. So you have two versions that you can get. Their pre-orders are also closing the exact same day as July 15th.
Huh.
Same prices too. We made sure everything was even across the board, so that someone will go, oh well, their version is cheaper, their version is more expensive, and I want to buy both. Well, it's the same price. And we try to be fair to everybody.
I had a thought on a game that would be good for the Super Blood thought, but have you guys heard
Super
about
Blood
this?
Pac-Man?
that would be fun. That would be fun. Or Dig Dug.
Blow them up.
Yeah. But I was thinking about like roller derby, and then I was thinking about this. I saw this thing for roller champions.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Is that out, or?
I think just the beta. Like people have been testing it, but I don't think it's officially released yet. It looks good though.
Yeah, they say it's coming for the Switch.
Wait, is that different than that PS4 roller derby game?
Well, I thought it was PS4 only.
Yeah, it was PS4.
Yeah, I remember seeing something like that, but that was probably a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, I think it only went open.
They started talking about it in 2019.
Jeez.
Yeah, COVID probably.
And then they said, and they said it was supposed to come out in February of this year. But it still says coming 2021, but
Yeah, I doubt it at this rate.
Yeah.
They're only 12 years behind.
Doing forever.
Well, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer. We've had you over 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Really
doesn't feel like it though.
Yeah, it went by really quickly. It was fun.
It did.
Again.
Always craziness. You got like a million little messages going on. Like I'm like looking, I'm like, I ignored a few people.
So just so everyone knows, you have 2 games out right now. 2 more pre-orders. Two more that are pre-ordering.
Correct.
And you've announced 2 more, correct?
Well, we have 2 games out that are shipping right now, which is Super Blood Hockey and Pigeon Dev Games Collection. We have 2 on our site right now, pre-order, which is Robot Named Fight and Demon Seer Plus. We also have the Kickstarter exclusive version of Sunshine Anthology up for pre-order. All those pre-orders will end on July 15th. So make sure to get them in if you want that slipcover, because that is exclusive. And you can go to premiumeditiongames.com to get those.
There is a chance that there won't be any available after the pre-order window. I mean, it really depends on what we have left over. So like people don't pre-order it, may not be available. You may have to hunt us down at a convention or something to see if we have a copy.
If we wound up doing like 4,900 out of the 5,000, like we probably won't have any available because we need to keep some back for damages and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, good point.
But and then with like maybe
even if we did 5,200 and had to have 800 extra copies, we got those distributors that wanted copies. Distributors might be gone. Like I mean, and they've indicated so interesting.
Yeah. Some distributors haven't gotten back to us yet because we've let every distributor know that if they get to us while the pre-order window is open, they'll get the slipcover. If they don't, they won't. So we need to know.
I don't know if you guys know that, but like the distributor piece, that's the easiest way to get inside game stores, local game stores now.
Yep.
Because they'll go around and reach out and then cut them a deal or however they do it. But literally, that's how you'll see a local mom and pop game store have some Switch games and stuff. Is usually through the game distributors nowadays. And they reach out to us and they just buy a bulk amount of copies, and that helps us get our name out there too, which is
right.
So yeah, you can find our copies in some local mom and pop stores if you're lucky, or you can just go online. But our limited, like Series 1, the numbers are low. And so if there's something interests you, Super Blood Hockey, we talked a lot about tonight, Pigeon Dev Games, make sure to get those orders in because we are seriously running out, and the deluxe will be shipping soon, and the retros are shipping now.
Yeah, and Pigeon Dev Games is really cool because there's four games on there.
Right.
And you get the exclusive songs. The whole soundtrack is exclusive.
And I mean, that's how we're going to do it if we do the smaller indie games, is try to bundle them together. They'll have to be by a similar developer, though, because then it becomes a nightmare to try to deal with it if we had 4 games from 4 different developers.
Right.
Yeah.
But artistically, I wasn't a huge fan of having to like stack 4 different games with 3 different aesthetics because Austin P 1 and 2 were one. Then I had to fit the other 2 artistically. It wasn't as cool as like one holistic focus of like Robot Named Fight with all the gory horror and meat beasts and all that. Like that was super, super easy to do versus the other ones are a damn nightmare, like artistically. So they're going to have to really convince me to do more than like one similar game because it's just not as, appeasing and satisfying.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Wow.
thanks a lot.
That's awesome.
Go
Papa
game.
Pete's got to go to bed, so that means we gotta shut it down.
Papa Pete's
Now I gotta go.
shut it down.
I got to go get my wallet and go pay for my game. And remember, tomorrow night at 7:00 on GoGameGo channel, I got Hammer Away tomorrow night, and I'm very honored to say I'm going to be hanging with my friend Guy, and we're going to be talking to Graham Bonnet, who is the vocalist who did a lot of his own solo work, but he was with Alcatraz, Rainbow, and Pelletary. So an amazing guy. He's been around for many years at doing some great stuff, and he's still doing it. Worked with Michael Schenker as well. So so it's really cool stuff. That's tomorrow night at 7:00 on the Hammer Away on the GoGameGo channel. So
all right.
Hammer all day.
Thank you, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. This has been just as brilliant as the first show we did with you.
Awesome.
So we gotta do this on a regular thing to keep talking about your stuff. So
we're always doing craziness.
Yeah,
always games.
It all speaks to me. So
just reach out anytime.
Yeah, perfect.
If we need to talk metal sometime, you let me
know.
Oh
man, really? Okay.
I mean, my metal band that I had from like 15 years ago, None More Evil. Like I have a tattoo of it. Like I was in a black metal band before I went down my current career path. So
well then, do yourself a favor by tomorrow on the Michael Schenker Group album Assault Attack. Check out the song Ram It to the Ground, which I don't even know if that's exactly the name of the song, but because I think that's but anyway, check that out because that's metal. That's right to slam to the head. Nice. Beautiful. So
yeah, I've been going down the obscure. I've been listening to a lot of Enforcer and crazy obscure metal recently. It's like stuff that like nobody's tracking.
Right. Absolutely. Well, hopefully you guys will check that out or, check them out. I do a lot of the shows. So we've been doing them. Actually, Jeff's going to join me in a few weeks. We're going to have an Elvis night. So,
oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. All right. We'll have a great one.
Oh, okay.
Thanks to everyone in chat for showing up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank
Jeff.
you.
It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah. Always a pleasure.